Bruce, you want to bring us in? That would be really great. All you need to do is say, when I point at you, you just look at your little camera there and you say, "Hey, welcome to the coach's box," and whatever else you want to say after that. I don't even care. Okay?
Now it's all those years.
You are live here at St. Pius.
Warning, the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
You'll do way better.
Good evening and welcome to the Coach's Box here at St. Pius High School.
Wow.
That is so much better than Zac McVey would ever done. Man, I am so glad Bruce is here. Because
You mean Father McVey?
Father McVey. Father McVey.
Wow. Well, guess what? If you didn't notice, we have a little different lineup tonight. We had to make some subs. After we apologize, we a little late getting on because of our all-conference meeting, trying to decide who got all-conference.
Well, we had too many free throws being shot down at St. Vincent. We had to pick up.
Here we go. That sure as hell takes a long time.
Makes the games longer from my experience.
For some reason, it's always the home team shooting them.
Well, how many threes do you guys always shoot? How can we foul you guys when you shoot 35 feet away from the basket?
I'm pretty sure that Gabe Watkins and many others took it to the hole. So I want to talk about threes. We just talk about free throws down there, 30-12. There, amen.
Are we trying to talk?
Amen.
Listen. We are not talking about officiating.
I didn't say nothing about officiating.
Kind of sounds like you are.
No,
I
did
defense
not.
at St. Vincent's. We just play good defense for it.
Oh,
Good defense, that's what he says.
Full already. Where's McVey? Fire this dude.
This is true.
This is going to be just like McVey. Jarvis is going to get pissed and start yelling at him at some point.
Well, we have guests here tonight. We've got if you haven't noticed, we have Coach Bruce Valleroy from St. Vincent, obviously one of our watchers of the show. Actually, I think
the spouse of a watcher. Really.
The spouse of a watcher of the show. And we have Tim Winkler from Grandview, who's where do you live at?
In Perryville.
He's got the Perry County connection going on.
We used to coach together for 6 years.
6 years.
6 years. He was my assistant.
Oh, wow.
I compare all my assistants to the high bar that he set.
There you go.
I'm not kidding you. He was a good
Now
assistant.
it's getting thick.
Did you guys hear that? What he just said?
Yes, I did.
I'm not kidding you.
Did he carry chalk with him?
He carried chalk with
There you
him.
go. See, because you got to. You got to go down to St. Vincent. That's what you got to do. You got to carry chalk.
They have the
And
pencil
had
in
the
the
best-
ear all the time?
No, he didn't need it then.
I did have the best handwriting of any assistant he
Oh,
ever
my
had.
gosh. Can I tell you a quick story?
Oh, absolutely, please.
We love stories.
Please.
One night, I can't remember who we were playing, but I wanted to match up in a man. We were playing zone, and I said, match him, while we were playing, I said, match him up. He hands me a piece of paper. I look at it, and I said, so-and-so, you've got, I can't read this. You read it. It was chicken scratch.
I read it right
Chickens
off.
couldn't even read it.
I'm out. I have no idea. Whatever you want to
Chickens
do.
couldn't even read it.
That's great. So before we get going into the show, and again, we apologize for being a little bit late. Want to go ahead and say that we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to go ahead and just go ahead and jump out in front of this before we get going. We know that there's a lot that's happened with Principian Cooter game, the Principian Cooter quarterfinal game, and there's a lot that's still actually in the process of happening. A lot of moving parts still, and we always want to call it like we see it, but we're going to wait until we get all the information and some other stuff gets sorted out before we actually give our opinions on different things. It was an unfortunate incident that happened because obviously kids and coaches and fans and everybody is involved, and there's different things that have happened. So we're not gonna talk about that this week. Hopefully things get sorted out and things get back to normal. But again, an unfortunate incident that happened, and
happened way down south.
Yes, it happened way down south, Jason. And
Farmington?
Farmington.
For me, that's south.
Yep.
And
And
not Perry County. That's all he's saying.
Hey, I would much rather play it down there than over there.
so
Can I have that in writing?
I'd much rather play down in Farmington.
Oh, okay.
hey, we're trying to have a serious moment, Jason.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know you're trying to derail the show as always.
Well,
but
I mean, I'm trying
yeah.
to be off the rails. I can't believe I can't give my opinion on
not
this,
yet.
but I'm not.
Not yet.
I'm going to
Don't
hold
worry.
off. I'm not going to say what I think.
There will be a time where
Jason,
you get to have it.
I feel like you should acquiesce.
Oh, here we go.
I hate that stupid word. Shut
So
up.
much French.
Anybody that's got all that soccer crap on, I can't listen to. Go ahead.
we will talk about it next week, hopefully, and when everything's settled. But until then, we're not gonna discuss it
Get
just
coach
yet.
to speak.
We're just
You're
gonna.
the king of that crap.
No, I'm not. Only when certain media outlets contact me about wanting to talk about different things. I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna take it one game at a time. Good Lord willing, and the team plays right. Stuff like that.
Always got to throw that good
Coaches.
Lord
Well,
willing.
of course
speak.
we do. I mean,
you
that's
got
what you have to do.
You got Father McVey on your staff.
Okay, Father McVey, who's at junior retreat, by the way. I hope McVey is tuning in while he's supervising a bunch of juniors.
Yeah, there's no internet down there.
Not even on his phone.
No.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's in the woods.
It's
Fredericktown.
It's in Fredericktown. It's Cherokee Pass.
No, I got reception down there.
Good internet.
I don't think you're going to get enough down there.
It ain't in Annapolis.
Well, wait a minute.
We eat up a lot of bandwidth, I'm just saying.
I gotta say, McVey probably won't use the data because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to use his data and spend the money. So I can see that. I can see that happening.
What a tightwad.
Yeah,
He's busy praying.
Zach.
He's busy praying.
So anyway, we had a really good time after our all-conference. We got everything straightened out, and of course, I can't add or anything, but we're not going to talk about that. And technology.
I see Ron Rhodes is already commenting.
What's he doing now?
I'm just going to throw this out there. Ron, I talked to Ken Jones today, and I verified the extra time being put on the clock. I think it was 2008, 2009-ish. It was at your place. The 3 referees were all from DeSoto. Yes, clock, time, put on. We were handshake line when it happened.
That's awesome.
So just throwing that out there, Ron Rhodes. Your memory might not remember it. You are like 80, but just no. He kept saying he doesn't recollect. Whatever, dude. You remember?
My goodness, Jay.
Is this how you treat all Hall of Famers?
No, I mean I haven't said nothing to Bruce yet. Future Hall of Famer.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No.
Man, we're privileged to be in the same room as him.
I know.
I know, and it's not his wife's name up. We actually have Bruce Valleroy up for. I mean, he brought us in way better than Father McVey.
This is true. Hey, Bruce, you got to come up here more often so you can be on the show. Or wait a minute, I can actually figure out technology and we can just bring you in. Like you just be in front of your phone and you can just jump in anytime.
Dude, he can't even figure out Facebook or YouTube. His wife does.
He knows you. Bruce, you know YouTube, don't you?
I know how to spell it.
There you go. See, YouTube done. Just like
You
that.
spotted the vowels.
I mean, they
Why don't you guys come down to Perryville and do a show?
That's right.
no.
Well,
Dude, we won't even go north
Well,
of the Merrimack.
if we're going down there, we got to go to Mary Jane's. If we're
That's
gonna
the
go
only
down
place
there.
Jarvis would go is Mary Jane's. He wouldn't come to St. Vincent's.
I'll be honest
He's got
with
to
you.
go there once every other year. That's
For
enough.
football and basketball, he's
Hey,
got to
You
go.
know how many
with his
times?
daughter, too.
You
With
want
his
to name
daughter.
how many times? In football, I went 4 times. Basketball, twice. Once for my game, the day before for his. So I went to Perryville Good 6 times.
You can
Good
add.
save.
Adding.
That's what that Festus education.
You know how to do that, Coach Miller?
Not very well, apparently.
That's what that Festus education will do, man.
Hey, if I knew Excel formulas a little bit better, we wouldn't have had any issues.
We'd have been on time at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yes, we would have. So I'll blame it on me.
In a long week, I go from Perryville to Grandview 6 times.
Why? Why would you do that?
But that's
They pay me
that's
big
my
bucks.
choice. Like you took the job at Grandview.
This is true.
Living in Perryville. Now, I will say my first year of teaching, I lived in Crystal, and I worked in Perryville at Perryville High, like the public school, the non-recruiting school.
Gotta go
What did
there.
I tell you
He's got to
before
go there.
the meeting tonight that 4 of my starters, their dad played for me. So if we're recruiting, we must recruit a long time
Well,
ago.
I mean, it's you're
When you have a child, they will play for me.
Perryville's a lot like
Done.
St.
Undue
John when it
influence.
comes to that. You're either like in St. John, you're either a warrior or a dragon. So probably down there, you're either a pirate or you're a
Indian.
Indian.
And Indian.
They
And
still
and
keep,
Indian.
wait a minute, and they still have Indian. Oh, I'm offended.
Your ass. Just stop.
Why can they not be like the Red Hawks of SEMO and change their name?
Well, because SEMO's a liberal college, state college.
Are you trying to say that all you private schools are all conservative?
So moving on to our next thing.
I'm just trying to stir some
And we'll be back after this
off the rails.
break.
After the short
All
break
of a
where
sudden,
we get
Jarvis is
we
on
get taken
assignment.
take it off the air.
Now we know why Coach McVey went on assignment to
Yes,
priesthood.
Father
Father
McVey.
McVey.
Hey, I think we
McVey.
should send Jarvis on junior retreat and see how that goes.
Oh, gee.
Oh, no.
That would be great.
Well, yeah, I'm a
Down to
great,
Pinecrest
I'm a great
campground.
supervisor.
My thought was get all the officials in a room and let him be the guest speaker.
That would be awesome. I would love it. You gotta
would be
admit,
funny.
I came down 2 days in a row down at your place and hardly even raised my voice. One was watching my daughter play, and
That's
then
surprising.
The other was watching us get dismantled.
You didn't have to help coach your daughter's game?
Well,
Not that game.
I
He
know
didn't get told to go home.
there was
One of the few.
It was close. It was close.
no, it wasn't. I didn't even. No, I had nothing to do with it.
Wait, that was the infamous game where Riley had to do the dance around the official to get
Yeah,
the
Oh, one of
timeout
the
dance.
hey, and then he
Yes.
backed that butt up.
Damn.
You guys all
Sideways.
know. You've seen his timeouts.
Oh, yes.
They're all about backing that butt up.
Oh, God.
And
Somebody should
Full
play. Somebody
timeout.
should play like a beeping sound in the gym whenever he starts to back up.
oh, that would be awesome. Maybe in our new gym we'll have a great sound system as long as hopefully everyone passes that bond issue up
We
at
hope.
Herculaneum and
We hope.
Peevely.
April 4th.
And we'll get to see that in the new gym. Him.
Yeah.
You do. You have some mannerisms that just kill me.
See, I've never seen that because I've never given a reason to call a timeout.
Hey, from our meeting tonight, I found out that you were a lot more animated than what you are now. You have mellowed out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Big time, majorly big time.
Bruce, you got a story about this? I would love to hear some.
Oh, there's
He
so
told
many
me
of them.
one about. No, he told me it.
Yes. Yes.
The chalkboard at halftime.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Something
We,
about his hand.
I hit it twice.
He went in the locker room. He drew up a 3-second lane, and he put a X at the elbow and an X at the block, and he punched both of them and said, "Them two places are killing us. Now get out of here and go shoot." Kicked him out of the locker room. They went up and shoot, and so I was ready to go upstairs. And next thing I know, he said, "Come here, coach." His whole knuckles was bleeding everywhere. So the next day of practice, the kids picked that chalkboard up, brought it up, and had Mike Tyson against Coach Tim Winkler. 15 rounds at
I didn't
Chesapeake Gymnasium.
That's awesome.
And they circled both holes and said, "Pick the best punch." And it was obvious I let up on the second one.
Obviously, the first one took care of business.
The first one took care of business. The second one, he just barely,
You can't show them the weakness, that it actually hurt the second time when you're.
That's why he kicked them out real quick.
It's like, all right, gotta go. Oh,
that's probably the quickest we moved that year. Them kids was out of that locker room within 15 seconds. I think there was
no part of it. I love it.
There was 8 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock when they got back up to shoot because I think the cheerleaders was trying to do a dance and they had to quit because the team was ready to come out and shoot at halftime.
And they didn't walk down the locker until 9 minutes left.
Yeah, we did not get up there until about a minute to go because I had to tape his, put Band-Aids all over his knuckles and try to get the bleeding
Why is
stopped.
Winkler coaching the rest of the game with his hand in his pocket?
Hey, Blair, that sounds
I
like
stuck
how...
it in a bucket of ice. We had sodas iced up.
Oh, my gosh, that's funny.
I called my wife afterward and I said, I did something tonight I regret. And she said, did you hit somebody? And I said, not somebody, but something twice.
It's funny you say that about getting out of the locker rooms down there because every time I go down to St. Vincent, our kids get out of the locker room pretty quick because it's like an ice chest down in that locker room. It's like no heat. It's like in the 40s or 30s every time I've been down there.
Not the home locker room, though.
Oh, I'm sure the heat's pumping in that.
Yeah.
There's
The boys' locker room is really warm.
Definitely not from our shooting.
Oh, so you don't have that?
No, the boys' locker room is really warm.
Oh, well, that girl's locker room
is cold. Hey, I will tell you this, though. While we were celebrating winning last year, I got to throw it out there because it's so damn cold in that locker room, Coach. I got to say, he's 100% right. That water the kids were throwing on me was a little cold, I got to say, because it was really cold
Our
down
kids,
there.
I'm not kidding you, they were shivering this year in the locker room. I'm like,
is that planned?
Yeah.
Don't lie.
I don't think there was ever heat in that locker room. In all the years I've been there, including high school, I don't remember there ever been heat in that locker room.
Hey,
Dude,
listen,
it is ice cold.
Hey, I have no problem with that. There's a lot of gamesmanship that goes with this stuff anyway. You don't get to do that as much anymore. But
we're not doing it on purpose, but we'll take that as a home court advantage since we don't get any other calls.
I'm not gonna
throw the.
I don't want to say that.
No.
That's a little.
Well, then he's trying to make this an official show.
we already had the official show.
Yeah,
thank you.
So
That is over with.
that show is officially over.
yes, it is. We have moved on.
I will
to
say
other things.
I've had this happen at another school this year. They had that locker room. I looked at we found the thermostat in there. It was up at like 80-something, 85 degrees. We were burning up. Luckily, one of my players was like, Coach, this thing's turned up to 80-something. I'm like, we turned it down. Yeah.
That's
so
right.
that someone turned that dang thing up.
So that balanced it out.
That's
Between
right.
St.
And
Vincent
we
and
still
other
whooped
schools.
that butt.
Whoa, hey, we're a family show over here.
I said butt.
You can't say damn or
Are you
ass.
really a family show if you don't start till 9 p.m.?
No, we're trying.
It's 8:44, so we've already started.
Man,
sometimes it's technology, guys.
Listen, it's not like watching Cinemax or anything. Okay,
Are we going to
whoa.
We're springing forward
Let's
here
not
in a
talk
couple
about
of days. So we're springing forward anyways.
When do we
Soccer
spring
time?
forward?
9 o'clock soccer time?
What's soccer?
Yeah, I don't.
It's
What is
European
soccer?
countries with the time, the zone. Yeah, it's about time to start a Premier League game.
Hey, or when are you guys getting soccer down there at St. Vincent?
We do have girls soccer.
When are you getting boys soccer?
I have
Fifth
no
and never?
idea. Probably not for a while, I wouldn't think. Until our numbers get better enrollment-wise.
You see the comments here?
I
St. Vincent always has 7 players on the court.
7?
No.
Back in the
Well,
day.
you know what? Because usually when you go down there, it was only 2 refs, but now.
Well, they got a new AD down there. That's what happened.
Oh, that's what happened. They got a new AD and they actually get 3 refs.
I gotta say, last year we went down there and played. We had the best officiated game that we've had in the last couple of years.
New AD.
Don't you agree, Bruce?
No comment right now.
See, I don't bash on the referees down there at St. Vincent. We have it's all. Listen, guys, it's all good fun. It's kind of like our ongoing jokes. But
as long as we win, I don't care what you say about us.
you know what? That's fair. That is 100% fair.
True.
I don't want to brag, but we're conference champs again this year.
Yep. Congratulations.
Yes.
You were conference champs, even though we beat you.
Yes, you beat us.
The humble brag. Yes.
No, we are very proud to win the conference. I mean, there were some good teams this year, and I thought it was well balanced. I mean, look at Jefferson, the run they made the second half of the season. We were very lucky to play them before Christmas when they wasn't playing very well. And then look what happened after Christmas. They really took off.
I got to say, I mean, sorry to cut you off there, but, I thought, the top four teams had some really good, I mean, outside of us getting whipped by Jefferson, I thought we had some really good.
Us getting whipped by Vincent at Vincent.
But I was going to say, if I can interrupt you,
go ahead.
You didn't have Gabe Watkins at 100% tonight. We played. He was coming off that injury, and first game he came back, and you could tell he wasn't 100%. And I think he got hurt again in the third quarter. He came limping out.
But we just didn't play well overall against you guys that time. And it's hard when you play a team twice, even if it's in tournament early and then you play them later on. I will say the most exciting game I played in, probably other than our Valley Park game, the most exciting conference game I played in was us and R7, and we had a stretch there. Me and Breeze were talking about it tonight. I've never seen it. 7 threes were hit in a row and 7 trips. Like the referees, I remember we had Kyle Marler, a couple others, Mike Rickerman, and they were just like, they were having probably as much fun as the fans and everyone else. It was just bam, bam. And it wasn't like it was, no, we gave up a couple wide open ones. But
I know about that.
We hit a few that, they contested them. It was just 7 trips in a row. It was one of the most exciting atmospheres of high school basketball. And Hillsborough and Festus had a few of those. That's why I think, I'm going to throw it out there. I don't care. Call it like you see it. That's why the small schools should go home and home. There's no reason we shouldn't. You play us twice. We get to play everyone twice. Everyone gets a home game. I couldn't imagine how many people would have been at the second game if we would have had to play R7 again. Yeah. And I wish the small schools would go home and home.
Well, I know I watched the game online, and then between me and Kevin and Jim, just talking about that sequence was just unreal to watch. Cool. It was fun to watch online. I couldn't imagine being there. It was awesome. And but I will say that the atmospheres at the conference this year
all of them
really good. I mean, I don't know. I'm on
even the one at St. Vincent.
I'm on the fence about the home and home. I mean, there's good and there's bad. I know you are, but I do think that. And I'll say this, I think there should be 4-game conference Friday nights. I mean, I just think that the crowd energy is electric.
Well, especially if we're not going to go home and home, then make all of our 5 conference games on Friday nights and 4-game nights. Because those kids, I don't care. I've got kids, like the first time we ever swept R7, it was Matt Kaufman and them, that group. They still talk about that night where we swept R7. I mean, those kids remember those 4-game nights more than I think they remember a lot of games.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I Bruce and I talked about it down when we played down at St. Vincent. That it's just the atmosphere alone. It gets those kids an opportunity to play in front of a big crowd. 1, and 2. If you're fortunate enough to play in a postseason game, you get that same kind of feel where these kids already know how to play.
Yeah, they're used to it.
When you get in a big crowd, play at Farmington Civic Center or Jeffco, and it's packed gym in there, and it's crazy and loud. If you've never played in that environment, it's hard to play in that environment for the first time. Right. And I feel like our conference games, in all of our gyms, they're small gyms, but they seat a decent amount of people where it's loud. When it gets in much people in there, it's loud and obnoxious.
Well, and you look at our large school conference. Look at the 2 Hillsborough Festus games. Yeah, they were crazy,
crazy good,
crazy. I mean, and I know they weren't 4-game nights, but they're playing home and home. Mm-hmm. They were insane, and the Windsor Festus game, the Windsor Hillsboro games, because their conference was a lot like ours, I feel. There's like 3 or 4 teams at the top that were all pretty close to being about the same, and they battled it out, and that home and home was awesome for those fans. And I think the 4-game nights, if we're not going to do home and home, let's do 4-game nights every time we play a conference game.
Well, it just, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day,
it's all about the kids.
Bruce and I talked about this. It is about the kids, and the kids enjoy that, and that's the moments that they remember more than anything. And to me, why are we in this? It's for the kids, and give them the best opportunity to have enjoyable moments in high school. And I think those are the enjoyable moments that they remember. When we go to senior night, we hear about those moments, those games, those atmospheres.
Well, we lost that R7 game, and I still think that my kids.
Well, 2 of your guys said they remember that game because of the crazy third quarter that the basketball game was played.
Yeah, everyone's going to remember that game.
It was just unbelievable. You know,
Yeah.
And at Grandview, we don't get good crowds for girls' games. We did,
But on
the
4
year
game
before.
on 4-game nights,
Yes.
you guys
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
When we played the year before last, when Herky came to our place on a Saturday afternoon,
it was
we got a
packed.
good crowd.
No, that was packed.
And then when Jefferson came to our place this year, we played 3 games. And
packed.
those are the only 2 times we really had good crowds.
Do you guys have good crowds on there when you do 4 games?
Yeah, we played Perryville on a Saturday, and we played the girls.
You
and
played
the
the
boys.
community center
At
or
the
whatever?
the Civic Center, whatever
Oh,
you want to
sorry,
call it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play down there, and we start like at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday. We play all 4 games, and it is big crowd.
Well,
And-
heck yeah, the whole town of Perryville's there
Got to shut
probably.
the place down.
Well,
Turn
and-
off the lights on your way out.
Exactly, and then we
Anybody
also
want a
try to
table
make
at
it a
Mary
community
Jane's?
thing.
That
Community
That'd be the
too.
time to do it.
You know,
Yeah.
we maybe there's
Stonies.
some gymnastics groups in town. We'll bring them in and let them perform between games. Our cheerleaders do a big performance at halftime of the varsity games, and it's a big time.
Well, I was there
and I know
this
this
year.
year we had to play Pius on a Friday night, boys and girls, because they got snowed out on Tuesday. The girls did, so we came up and played the girls game, the JV boys game first, and the varsity girls and varsity boys, and that was a great.
It was a good crowd there.
It was a great girls game. I mean, that was
it was
a very good game. I mean, Pius ended up
It was
winning
a
at
good
the
boys
end.
game. Okay,
In
I
your
know.
eyes, of
Hey, we lost to Herky, and I thought that was a good game. That was a good
an
night.
exciting game.
It was an
Our
exciting
game
game.
wasn't. I didn't
And
think
it was
we played
packed.
well,
Well,
but
you're
you guys
being
had a lot to
That
do
gym
with
was-
it.
That gym was
Yeah.
packed that night. That JV game with the Pius Herky, the JV boys game.
No, I know. That was exciting.
Watching
too.
McVey run across the floor looking for a timeout.
Father
McVey.
McVey.
Father McVey.
Dude, he did go. That's the furthest I think
I thought he got a technical. He ran out so
I did
far
too.
the
I was
way they
hoping he did so we could
That
talk
would
about
have
it.
been
He
fantastic.
reminded
I
me
know.
of Jimmy V looking for somebody to hug after the He's going to hug the ref.
Only if he had won. Yeah, he didn't win. So
It's
he
weird. You see, you got almost in the same night. You've got Zac running at an official and Blair backing away from an official.
Just
Both
like
trying
that.
to get the same thing.
While you brought up officials,
He's not even paying attention.
Ron Rhodes posted on here. I got one technical foul in my 5 years at Fesses, and it was at Vincent during a JV game.
I do remember that. He was sitting at the end of the bench, and the official asked him who he was, and he said, "Well, I'm the varsity coach." And he said, "You can't say anything because this is a JV game." And I think Coach Rhodes said something again, and got a
Man,
technical.
is that where you got? Is that where you learned your technique?
That's where you got your end of the bench stuff from.
Yep.
Ron Rhodes.
Yep. Ron Rhodes helped you get kicked out of a JV game, didn't he?
Oh, that was the night we swept him.
Yes.
Yes, it was. That wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it
We
was.
swept R7 that night, and his butt doesn't even get to watch the rest of the JV game because he's back getting a tour of the new school at R7 with Clint Johnson.
That's right.
Because his stupid butt gges kicked out. It was the greatest thing ever. I was on the floor.
I don't even know what I did.
Oh yeah,
You should have seen him. That was great, man. It scored out. Then they're like, "Is he going to be able to coach the varsity game?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so great! I can do whatever I want. It's all on him."
They had to make a call to Misha to find out if I could.
All we gotta do is just read the book. It tells you.
All kinds of interesting stuff happening
good.
JV games at St. Vincent, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does, Coach.
Yeah,
you probably can bring a story
The
up about
7-minute stall in the
Yes.
thord quarter.
Yeah, we talked about that tonight.
Oh,
I
we talked
heard.
about that.
that. And
Yeah.
the St. Pius
you're
AD
famous.
keeping the book gets kicked out of the game.
And Sharp.
No, yeah, the AD in a wheelchair
Of
gets
all
thrown out of the the
yes,
game. Yes.
Barb.
And they
She
told
should've
her to
hurried up.
hurry up.
They told her to hurry up, and then I had to step in and said, no, she's going to take her good old time getting out.
Oh my goodness! I've never heard of a scorebook person get kicked out of a game.
Oh wait, I have, but I never. Sharp.
I would have never thought it was Sharp.
Sharp. And we were talking. I was keeping the clock, and she was sitting next to me. We were talking, and all of a sudden she said something. The official said, "You're out of here," and kicked her out. And I'm like, "Holy cow!"
Goes to the coach. Where's your AD? You just
You
kicked her
just
out.
kicked the AD out. Who's the
the admin on
administrator?
duty.
She's the administrator.
There you go.
So one of your relatives kicked her out.
Yes.
So he's acted like he was surprised, but he had that crap planned.
That cousin got extra turkey at Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
Extra gravy also.
Four-year
Hey,
contract should have
he
three.
got to
And a
sit at the
four-year
kiddie
contract
table.
should have three.
You got to
Yes.
sit at the kiddie table and eat now. You can't sit over here with the adults.
And a
I
little
just-
stuffing on the side.
If you remember at the all-conference meeting, I told you we did 3-year contracts. That official got a 4-year contract. Back to Coach Rhodes real quick. He can't remember the Crystal City game, but he can remember a technical foul.
doubt he can remember a technical foul.
But I can't remember the Crystal City
Yeah.
game
JV.
where you're shaking hands and then coming back to play.
Oh, 6 seconds added.
6 seconds.
They make a layup to win the game.
And he can't remember that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
he remembers it. His butt just don't want to.
Hey, if he can remember the trash bags and all that other stuff, trust me, he remembers that.
No doubt. I cannot. I missed that episode. I think
Oh, that was a fun one.
That was a fun one.
wow.
Fat Farm.
And he can remember Matt Carpenter being a good hitter. You know he can remember anything.
That's been a long time ago. I
I
gotta
don't
say,
know. He had a good time last year. Carpenter did.
yeah, until he got hurt.
For the Yankees.
It was the mustache.
Yankee.
It was the mustache.
Mustache.
Yeah.
I gotta say hi to Jim Powers. If I don't, he's gonna cry. He's probably sitting in his hotel room being big time
Well, you know he's not
Jim.
here for the show. That dude never shows up for this.
because he's calling the Class 1 and 3
because it's not
semifinal
Channel 2.
games.
I mean, come on, let's be real.
Hey, he's gonna be on Misha TV. You can watch him tomorrow for $10.
Do I really want to pay $10
game?
to watch Jim?
Per game?
Wait, I want to watch Jim.
It's $10. Okay, so
I can't pay $10 for the whole weekend?
Funny story about this.
Uh-oh. Here we
So
go.
I'm on my bank account the other day, and I got these 2 charges from Huddle. I'm like, so I call the number on the bank account,
I know what this is.
dude, and it's like a recording of some dude, and he's like, hello, and it's like you could tell he's like, oh, I don't know, because I'm trying to figure out what are these charges on my phone. Well, I forgot my wife had to pay to watch the 2 district games because Weston was sick and we didn't want to be around people. And so I called to protest the charges on my card because I was like, what is this? And Terrell's like, oh my God, I know what it is. That's from the district games. $10.60. So
I would have still disputed the charges. She already watched the games. It's not what are they?
I know, no crap, I should have. And
He's on the pass list. I mean,
I know, on the pass
On the
list.
pass list.
And I had to pay for her basically $20-something because I make so much coaching.
Thank you.
And that,
thank you.
yeah, so
A lot of money in those stipends.
but it was just crazy because it was listed as a Huddle payment.
Yes, because it's a Huddle camera.
Yeah.
Well, I figured that out at later, but I was like,
You're
why
welcome.
is Huddle charging me crap? And then I figured that out. I was just like,
Because they're charging Huddle.
Did you forget to hit the checkbox again this time so it could go live or?
No, that wasn't at his
That
gym.
was
That
okay.
his
That's
gym.
right. That was at his own gym.
Wait,
You know,
all right.
National Federation rule says you got to handle all protests at the time that you paid that account. You couldn't protest afterwards when you said you protested.
Too soon.
The charges you
Too soon.
I don't think you're talking about charges there.
Too
Yes,
soon.
I was.
We
Charges.
said-
you said
hey,
you protested, but you had to take care of
Not
it.
all the views on Coach's Box is not from all of us, and we said we're not talking about that. So,
I don't know what you're talking about. I was talking about your TV.
Your ass.
not.
And on that note, I think we do have
It's
to
a
go
break?
See what
Yeah,
I had to
it's
put
about
up
break
with
time.
in 6
it's
years.
break time.
I think when we come back, let's make some all conference award winners
Yeah, let's talk
announcements.
about
How about
that.
that?
sounds good, I guess, since you're running the show.
All right, that's good. So, hey, you're watching the Coach's Box. We'll be right back.
Father McVey is not here to run the show.
That's right.
Those fries you've been craving. I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, Paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
And Barnhart welcomes back the 2-pound pork steak special every Thursday. Kids eat free every Tuesday, and all-you-can-eat soup and salad every day, all day, only at Case and Bucks and Barnhart, home of over 55 appetizers. Learn more at caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
Question about my listing price?
Updating listing to Lizard Heights.
No, listing price.
Wizard Kites.
Can I talk to a real human agent, please?
Are you tired of high school sports behind a paywall? Then you need to check out Maritime Sports, your high school sports source. We at Maritime pride ourselves on covering sports with student athletes as our main interest and putting a spotlight on them. You can check out our articles, photo galleries, and much, much more, all for free. So check out Maritime Sports at our website, maritimesports.net.
Welcome back to the Coach's Box, everybody. How many we have listening tonight? Raise your hand.
Well, we can't see them.
Well, the question is...
Well, I told you I don't know much about technology.
That's not how this works.
The question is, between the two of you sitting over there, how many years of coaching do you have together?
You can't count that.
Together?
Combined.
That's a lot of math.
Well, I haven't coached every year.
Carry the 7.
I haven't coached every year, though.
So how many years total have you coached?
I think 21.
36. 30 as the head coach.
Holy crap.
Wow.
You are old.
Thank you.
Jason, he's a guest on our show. Can you be polite?
No.
When we coach together.
He's not when we coach against each other either.
I'm aware.
No, it was very uncomfortable this year, Bruce.
But he and
I won't
coached
say
together.
anything else, but it was uncomfortable.
There were people who would say, how does his assistant feel like the head coach is younger than him? And my wife would say, I guess again. Although my hairline is catching up to his now.
Oh, man. They said I was ripping on
Throwing
you.
shade.
Yes, it was tough being his assistant.
Oh,
And then he also was my boss because he was the athletic director, and I was the head football coach, head baseball, and his assistant in basketball.
Gosh, damn, you were doing everything.
Yeah, I coached 3 sports for 2 years in a row. And I was by myself in football hardly. I only had one assistant. And I was baseball by myself.
You know, that must be a Perryville thing because when my first year ever teaching out of college, green as could be, I mean, I played college football, but my first college football or high school football game I ever coached, JV game, I called the offense, the defense, the special teams, and I was the only coach there.
And I did. I coached all them.
That
or
it
called
was
them plays
crazy.
during the
My
game.
first game ever as a coach.
That's tough.
Now, anytime he'd get wise with me, I'd say, do you like your football schedule? Yeah. You better back off.
Man. I had the toughest football schedule in the state. St. Jen, who won state, Valley,
back
who
when
won
we were the
state.
MAAA.
We were in the MAAA conference when I was a football coach. So we played the Farmingtons.
So what's your football record as head coach?
0 and whatever. We won some games, but I didn't win them. The kids won them. So,
This guy, I like it.
It still counts on your record.
yes. So I didn't win any games. The kids won the games. I lost them all.
So how many
That's
games
what the
did
parents told you.
So how many games did the kids win when you were in charge?
13.
Okay, there we go.
So in 2 years, 13?
5 years.
Oh, wait, that
I
changes.
was like,
in 2 years, I was like, 2 years, I did bad. But then he said 5, I'm like,
I was assistant my first year, then was head coach the next 5 years.
10 games a year. That's carry the
That changes the math a little bit.
that was kind of
Kevin.
like my first 5 years as a head basketball coach.
Well,
So
Valley won state all 5 years. St. Jen won state. Batosi won 10 games a couple years. Farmington won 10 games a couple years. North County was very good back then. Park Hills
Potosi.
probably was not
So you-
the best in the conference at that time.
No wonder you guys wanted in the JCAA.
And then that's when we joined the JCAA
It's your damn
after I got out of
team
coaching.
that got in there. That's what happened.
Okay, so you are proving everything so I can prove Ron Rhodes wrong again.
Uh-oh.
You are remembering stuff that Ron Rhodes says he can't remember. He said, I remember the technical because it really happened. Shut up. They put time on the clock, bro. I talked to
He
Kim
won't
Jones.
let this go.
He
He just won't let it go.
No, because I was so mad when it happened.
He also said that that was 20 years earlier than that.
There you go.
Okay, he remembered putting trash bags on people to lose weight. Come on, he remembers.
I don't. Did that really happen?
That's what I heard.
You never know.
I didn't watch that show.
I mean, he says the reason he remembers the technical is because it really happened.
Oh, okay.
And he'll be in Springfield tomorrow.
He'd be watching Powers live, he said.
Yeah. And how's he going to do that? Is he going to pay for it to watch it, or is he going to like sit there and watch him do the?
He'll probably be in the box next to him, listening to him. Probably
know.
on his show.
He might be like your dad, Chris, and get a ticket to get in free. He might be on the pass list.
My
if you're
dad
a
is-
Hall of Famer, probably on pass list.
My dad is going to go down tomorrow and watch the South Iron Jefferson game. I think he'll watch the other Class 1 boys. Then he's going to come back. Then he's going to watch somebody play on Friday.
West County, probably.
No, he's going to watch come back to this area. He's going to watch somebody in Class 4 or 5 play. Then he's going to drive all the way back to Springfield. He's got almost 500,000 miles on his truck.
Yeah.
And literally 85% of them are from watching basketball games. So, of course, when he tells me I don't know what I'm doing, he's seen enough basketball. He knows.
Coach Rhodes says that Bruce has a really good memory.
Yeah. So does Ron Rhodes. He's so full of crap.
Hey, Bruce has a great memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like the refereed game last year against St. Pius.
It was a really good officiating game.
We'll move on.
SIBO officials, I gave them all ones. Every one of them, I gave them ones. I mean, I might have given 2, just because you don't
want to seem like you're trying too hard.
No, you want to give
Even
a
it
couple.
out.
You want to give a couple 2s. You don't want it to look like every time you win, everyone gets a 1, and then every time you lose, everyone gets a 4.
Now, I will say this:
1, 4, 1, 4.
When we did have this game a while back in a particular place, I won't say where, but when I gave the 5, I had to give a reason why, and I gave him my cell phone number. And I copied and pasted. I put a 5, and I copied and pasted. If you want to talk to me about it, here's my number. I did on every single one of them. And they rejected it, and I had to do it again. it wasn't.
Yeah, you told us this story.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll give you the reason why. I don't need it. Why?
I'm
Here.
interested to see how that's all going to be changed next year.
I say it's going to change.
Okay, yeah, sure.
There's
What are you saying?
We're not going to have to do official evaluations anymore.
That'll
That'll
probably be
change.
good for Blair because I know he's been fined in the past for not doing them.
Way to go, spending money in the district.
I just wanted to throw him
I
under the
paid,
bus.
I paid for that.
Did you really?
I did.
That's good.
I did.
Should
He
come out of
did.
your
It was
big
that
time
Pepsi
stipend.
money.
I
Big Pepsi money.
I paid for that, but I paid for that didn't have an official, didn't write in the book, so I didn't know who it was, and left that one blank.
You could always call the other school district and ask.
Well,
I don't know.
There's this thing called the arbiter.
Just
I
put
didn't
an
think
official
that one game was going to make that big of a difference, but obviously it was.
Apparently, you thought wrong.
Well, I got fined.
It's that Illinois thinking right there.
I had to pay for it. There was no official signed my book. I didn't, end of the world, I guess.
We did
I
get
guess
an email
they-
today to remind us it's due March 15th.
Yes.
And
Yep.
on the email, it said do all games except Illinois or out-of-state games and postseason tournament.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, since we
That's
since
probably because of me. 'Cause I
it
complained
is your
about that.
it's your fault.
I complained about that.
So
Oh, yeah,
we
they
don't
listen to
we don't
him.
have the graphics or anything, but we'll go ahead and talk about our all conference meeting real quick and kind of recap that. Go ahead. You want to talk about it, Blair? You're the one who brought it up. Go
Let the
ahead.
ladies go first.
Ladies first.
All right. Well, we'll go with JCAA.
That's what we're talking about.
Conference Small School Player of the Year goes to Allie Patrick of St. Vincent. And then the Small School Coach of the Year goes to Aaron Portell of St. Pius the 10th.
Congratulations, Coach
10th.
Portell.
Yes. So congratulations to those two individuals. On the first team all-conference is Allie Patrick of St. Vincent, Annabelle Wakeland of Grandview, PJ Krodinger of St. Pius X, Kate Eisenbeis of Crystal City, and Molly Clemens of Crystal City. That is your first team all-conference for the small schools JCAA. Second team, first Amia Moore from Herculaneum, Riley Capozzo from St. Pius, Kaylin Propes from St. Vincent, Brooke Blankenship from St. Pius, and Lena Adams from St. Vincent. That is your second team all-conference JCAA. Honorable mention, Haley Smith from Herculaneum, Helena Lloyd from Jefferson, Catherine Wakeland from Grandview, and Taylor Thompson from Herculaneum. That is your JCAA small school girls all-conference teams and honorable mention.
There we go.
There you go.
Way to throw that out there.
There you go.
Do I have to do the boys?
If you
Yeah,
want.
I think Jason should do
I don't
it.
have that in front of me.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, I want Jason to do it because I like listening to you read.
All right, we'll pull it up. All right, starting with JC Small School Basketball MVP.
Oh, you're the bestest education.
We got Gabe Watkins from Herculaneum.
Congratulations, Gabe.
Congratulations. And then we have the Coach of the Year, was Sean Breeze, Jefferson.
Way to go.
First team all conference, we got Gabe Watkins, 12th grader from Herculaneum.
You don't have to read what grade they're
Oh,
in.
I want the grade out there. I wish he would have.
All right, whatever.
Nate Breeze, 11th grader from Jefferson, was on the first team. Blake Moonier, 12th grader from St. Vincent. Patrick Flanagan, 11th grader from St. Pius. And to round out the first team was Grant Abernathy. My second grade teacher's name was Mrs. Abernathy. But anyway, 12th grade,
kid.
St. Vincent.
Don't let him shoot.
Second team all conference, Dabrian Moss, St. Pius the 10th.
He's a 12th grader.
He is a 12th grader.
Oh, okay.
Ian Kern, 12th grader from Crystal City. Caleb Weiler, 11th grader from Jefferson. Simon and Coach.
Unterreiner.
Yeah, Unterreiner. There we go. 12th grader from St. Vincent. Ethan Hoskins, 12th grader from Herculaneum. That rounds out second team. Honorable mention, John Whitman, 11th grader from St. Pius the 10th. CJ Johnson, sharpshooter, 12th grader from Jefferson.
Killed us.
Camden Bolton, 11th grader from Crystal City. Dylan Jarvis, I don't know that kid.
Any relation?
Yeah. 12th grader from Herculaneum.
God, I hope Dylan's not watching.
Yeah, he's my relation. Great kid.
All right, there we go. Now he feels like
That's the first time I ever heard that.
Is that the apple that falls from the tree?
Lalonde.
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 That's what I said, Lalonde.
You asked the question. I'm telling you the answer.
Oh, I was right. 12th grader from Grandview, and Tom Grimm, 12th grader from Grandview, round out the honorable mention. And that is your JCAA Small School Conference. And I think there were some good choices there.
Yeah. I did see that Armand Branch was the player of the year.
He was the MVP of this large school.
And,
I know Noah Holland was on the first team.
Yep.
Logan Cash. You got it in front of you?
No.
Well,
I just happened to see it
I
just like
saw-
while we were on break. And then
I only remembered them.
Coach Ryan McCarthy was Coach of the Year. I think that's a very good choice.
Oh, I think he was very well deserved. He
Very
has
well
some kids
deserved.
at Windsor playing.
Hey, can I ask you two guys a question?
You can ask me anything you want.
Okay.
I got to say, whatever I say, though, in response, I can't.
Coach Miller, you called it Player of the Year. Coach Jarvis, you called it MVP.
Whatever you want to call it.
Well, to me, there's a difference.
Oh, here we go.
But which is it? Is it MVP?
Well,
or
it's
Player of the Year?
on the sheet. It says JCAA Large School. Okay, I have the large school in front of me, so I'm going to go
MVP.
ahead and just announce them.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, but when are you going to answer my question?
MVP.
MVP is what it says.
I was incorrect.
Okay.
I said
Well,
MVP.
no, I'm
MVP.
just curious because I think
I
there's
know.
two
Write
different
that down.
things.
Write that down, Coach.
Better write
Okay.
that down.
Right.
Are we going to come
And
back to that?
We'll come back to that because it's weird because it's been called Player of the Year in other sports.
It don't matter.
So MVP of the large
Yeah,
school
it does.
boys
Sure.
was,
Yeah, it does.
as he said, Armand Branch.
Thanks.
Ryan McCarthy was Coach of the Year, and then the first team was Armand Branch, Festus, Noah Holland, Hillsboro, Leighton Hollis, Windsor, Logan Cash, Festus, and Brenton Shirk, Windsor. So that was the first team. Second team, Kieran Jones, Hillsboro, Luca Poole, Hillsboro, Cole McClinton, DeSoto, Carter Roth, Festus, and Ethan, is it Blythe, maybe?
Yes.
Blythe.
Yeah.
I got that right. Perryville.
Yep.
And then an honorable mention, you had Noah Barnes, Windsor, Max Hartman, Windsor, Peyton Brown, Hillsboro, Hayden Bates, Festus, and Evan McClinton. Wait a minute. Oh, I said Cole at the top. Okay, Evan McClinton, DeSoto.
Hey, we got the camera just on you, buddy.
I don't care.
Big
you're,
time.
You're the big time guy.
No,
you
I'm
got to
not
match
big
your Jim
time.
Powers.
My name is not Jim Powers. Do you have the girls over there, Blair?
No, there's not. I
No,
can't.
there's
Nobody's
no-
posted.
Oh.
I know. I know you two over there have had a little conversation going, a little sidebar conversation going
talking
on.
crap over
I
there.
do know. I do
That's
know.
that
I
St.
did.
Vincent talk.
I did
over
read
there.
that Josie Allen was the large school girls player of the year.
I can't.
From
Okay,
Festus.
why isn't the rest?
I haven't seen it anywhere posted.
Well,
So-
I know where you could probably find it, but I don't
wonder if
really
that
want to
w-
click
I wa-
on that one or not.
I wonder if that was. I wonder if that was unofficial.
Maybe. Well, one of the if we
Yeah.
can find it before the end of the show,
So
we
you
will
want me
make
to?
an announcement.
Hey, I
of
want to
that.
go ahead and announce all district next. Wait, why
Well,
do you
it's
get
a
pissy with me? I was
show-
just joking, man.
Isn't the showdown number 1,
I.
2,
2?
3, 4, 5?
I could show you the
Or
official
neither
I
one.
here in a second, but it's a family show, so I won't.
Well,
Won't
that's
do
a
that.
Good, that's a good thing that it's a
All the
family
kiddos
show.
are in bed. It's all right.
It's only 9:15.
I know
We're good.
the ones who aren't in bed are the ones who are watching soccer or playing video games, or both.
Neither's bad.
Okay, one of those is bad.
Yeah, the video
Really
games
bad.
can really be bad.
Not at all.
Do you guys have EA Sports over here yet?
EA Sports. Get in the game.
Hell,
Do you guys
Are
have
they a
it?
sponsor?
no, we don't
It
have
should be
EA
there.
Sports here.
No, we don't have.
You don't have EA Sports
So
here?
we don't have EA Sports.
We don't have
or
EA Sports or
Okay,
eSports.
well, you knew
So-
what I meant. You guys have eSports at
No,
St.
but we have
Vincent?
No,
Sega.
but we do have a bowling team this year for the first time.
Are you coaching it?
No, sir. I didn't know about it until a few weeks ago. The kids asked me to come watch them. And I'm like, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
now
They're like,
I
we
have
have
to-
a bowling team.
I have to ask this question, and 100%: is there a stipend for the person who's the coach of the bowling team?
I do not know that.
You should definitely be looking
Usually
into
check
that.
into that so I can put that on my resume
yes,
also.
Because what you should do is now they've changed the rules about being a golf coach where you can't golf with the kids
Yes.
at practice. But if you can bowl with the kids, I mean, bowling's kind of fun to do,
Why can't you golf with the kids?
Because
though?
It's a supervision thing.
Somebody at Mission is like, well, they might get hurt.
Some coach did something stupid, or some coach was playing golf and their kids did something stupid while not being supervised.
You still can't supervise all your kids at a golf No,
but the coaches were on another part of the golf course, not doing coach-like.
Can't be drinking a six-pack, playing your own round of golf while the kids are doing what they're doing.
That's probably most likely it.
That was the last time I helped with the golf team, too. Was
when you could bring a six-pack.
Let me finish.
Bruce is the
to get to play golf is what I was trying to say. No six-pack.
No, you're down there in a Catholic school. Hey, use beer.
In Misha, that's now called the Valleroy rule. Golfers
We have the
can't
Bruce
golf.
rule south of here, and then I guess north will be the
There you
Valleroy
go.
rule.
Just like that.
Ron Rhodes, we don't know who the large school coach of the year is because we don't know who all conference was large school.
Well, I asked a couple coaches from the large school. Hopefully, they get back to us before the end of the show, and I'll make that announcement.
There you go. Good job.
Oh, look at Blair.
Look at you. You're so connected.
Yeah, we try.
You're worth something.
Somebody's.
Well, I'm glad you actually doing something for the show.
Hey, it's the only I can do.
Sure as hell ain't made a commercial in forever.
I miss those.
Thanks. My commercials?
No, just commercials in general. Not saying we're going to have a show.
He
but,
wants more of the choreographed ones, like Jarvis
when you
breaking
guys
into Miller's
went into his
office.
Oh, yeah. That was a good
And,
time.
Yeah, saw
the one breaking into the office was fun.
You know, we
that
put that
was
together in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just.
I came over here on my off hour, hurried up, got it done, and then left.
Everybody's, hey, somebody goes, I don't know, what are the Herky coaches doing here? I'm like, we don't talk about that. Don't worry about it.
They're still on
I figured that because you guys were still in school.
We were still in school.
I flew in, got done, because I had to get back for football practice. I'm like, oh, crap. Gone.
I thought I'd see that on Super Bowl.
No, because at one point during that day, somebody asked, goes, there were two Herky coaches here, and you just see Miller playing along, goes, wait, what? There were two coaches? Where were they at? Were they in my office again?
You know, dummy.
Yeah,
Coach, until this year they couldn't beat you. They wanted to come join you.
Well, you know.
What?
No, well.
This year was not the first year I beat them.
Yeah.
This is
They've,
true.
They've swapped wings a couple of times.
In conference.
Yeah. When he Hulk slammed the floor and a certain official, the only one that I don't like.
It always goes back to officials with Chris.
No.
No. Lordy.
Not at all. Only one official.
That's what I hear.
I don't like.
I'm hearing it too.
Yep.
He knows who he is. The rest of them, they're great. Even the one who teed me up the last time. I like him.
You said bullshit.
No, I didn't. We never use that kind of. Why would you think I would ever say anything that inappropriate?
Have you met you?
Man, these are people you work with.
I know.
Wow.
It doesn't take much.
Man, good thing Father McVey ain't here.
No, here. Hold on. Time out. Are you serious right now?
We need a little Vaseline to get through this. I don't know what.
That was a joke.
Man,
Man,
there's so many things I want to say, Blair, but I'm going to be
there
good.
was a
There
joke
went the
for that
PG rating.
By the way, for you guys, you can't say that to an official, even if it's a joke.
I don't think it was a joke.
Yeah. You can't say you don't have enough Vaseline for this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was just saying our med kit didn't have enough.
Yeah, he said that
short
to
on supplies,
official when he
but-
got teed up.
I thought you thought he was a medical sales, salesman who could distribute it to you.
I'm just
He could
letting
get his
someone
hands
know.
on some for you, you know.
I was just letting someone know, like, we are at a serious shortage here.
We don't have enough. Oh, geez.
Just like that. I mean, I wasn't being ignorant. Okay. But either way.
Do you do a budget here at Pius every year?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, well, maybe
I
you
need
can
to
add
put-
that and take something away.
That's
next
somebody
year.
else's budget.
I should put that in there. Tilton's going to look at me like, what the hell is this doing?
Why is it getting
Why is he spending $1,200 on Vaseline?
$1,200? My gosh, what the heck is going on here?
Hey, we got a lot of away games in the conference. I got to go ahead and get.
Hey, if we're gonna go home, and home. I got to go to Perryville every year.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even say it, Bruce, so...
It's already marked in the calendar. Next first Friday of February next year.
That it is. Yeah, you're right.
What is that? I'm right. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, future Hall of Famer, of course you're right.
No.
I wish we would get ours off a Tuesday and put it on a Friday. I hate the Tuesday game.
I would agree.
You just don't like driving to Perryville on a Tuesday.
Who does?
Who would?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
do. After practice, I do.
And a Wednesday,
Tim's
and
like,
a Thursday.
Once again,
You
we're
like
not
to go
talking
home, I
about it.
guess.
Your wife's probably like, you know what, just stay.
Yeah, will you please?
Just
Yeah,
stay.
she's usually in bed by the time.
Do you have to ride? Let's say you go to St. Vincent for an away game. Do you have to ride the bus back
No.
to Grandview?
No.
That should be in his contract.
I'm sure you can work that out with the higher ups.
Hey, just go to the lake house. You'll be fine. Nobody will bother you out
There you
there.
go. That's-
Wait. What's this lake house thing you speak of? Oh, we'll have to wait
That's
for
the
the
lake house.
commercials.
That's the lake
We'll have to
house.
wait for the commercial to talk about that one.
No Vaseline is needed out there. What about that?
Oh, my God. No way. No way.
I don't know what I'm talking about when I say that.
If Father McVey would be here right now, he'd say the show's at an all-time low.
Guess he would.
We would be going to
So
confession.
that is proof.
We'd be
Right
going to
there is
confession.
proof that Bruce watches the show. How
heard that
many
from other
times
people.
has McVay said
that, exactly.
Oh, we've hit an all-time low. And it's usually after Chris says something. I didn't expect it to come after Winkler said something.
Usually, Coach Blair
they're
that comes
supposed to
from
be-
the closet coaches that tells me all that.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yes.
There's a lot of those
Those
around.
two are supposed to be the one classing up the joint around
we,
here.
we finally got one closet coach to join us on the show.
We were
One.
talking to one of them earlier, and just
Yeah, but he verified the Ron Rhodes story.
yes, he did.
Oh God.
Yes, he did. He verified it. I was sitting at the table.
And
still
dude,
on
that was
that.
when I was a JV coach at Crystal. I mean, it shouldn't matter anymore.
What year was that?
2008.
2008 or 9.
Statute of limitations. Get over it.
Well,
If you want to, we go down the hallway, get in the janitor's closet, get you a ladder, bring it over here so you can use it to get over it. It's been a long time. Get over it.
when you get
Gosh.
blanked like that,
Wow.
it hurt. It stings. It's like almost going to bed.
Jason, you want me to
Can't
see
even
if
make
I
it all
got
the way
any?
through that statement.
You want me to see if I got any Vaseline to help you with that?
Oh my god!
He's at a shortage now. He just
No, remember Blair's
Budget.
the one that's got a full-time supply.
Oh boy! All right. Well, with that, we're going to go to another commercial because
He's been glossing that head up. He's been shaving it lately.
Yeah, look at you, man. Why don't you
going.
wear a hat?
That's what happens when you get them crows. Woo!
When you have no hair up on top,
You just let that thing grow out so you can comb it over.
Oh, that would look great. You look like my fly.
I'd look like you guys combined me to that certain person earlier in the show. But
No, that wasn't on the show. That was down in our meeting. Anyway, we'll be right back with our last segment of the Coach's Box for the UAs who are still hanging around watching this debacle. We'll be right back.
Ron Rhodes.
Imagine an HVAC as unnoticeable as the air itself. Sounds pretty good, huh? The new Daikin Fit. Air intelligence.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com.
I'm the captain of the Pee Wee football team. We may be small, but we are mighty, annoying. And you are so tired from playing defense against us that your focus is about to ride the bench. Go, go, go. Thanks, Mom. Bye. Come on, come on. And if you have cut rate car insurance, then not even a Hail Mary will save you from paying for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Buxton Barnhart welcomes back the 2-pound pork steak special every Thursday. Kids eat free every Tuesday, and all-you-can-eat soup and salad every day, all day, only at Case and Bucks and Barnhart, home of over 55 appetizers. Learn more at caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
Question about my listing price?
Updating listing to Lizard Heights.
No, listing price.
Wizard Kites.
Can I talk to a real human agent, please?
Are you tired of high school sports behind a paywall? Then you need to check out Maritime Sports, your high school sports source. We at Maritime pride ourselves on covering sports with student athletes as our main interest and putting a spotlight on them. You can check out our articles, photo galleries, and much, much more, all for free. So check out Maritime Sports at our website, maritimesports.net.
This has to go for cash, and he drills it. Money ball for Logan Cash.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to our final segment of the Coach's Box. I would just go ahead and put it right here on Jarvis, who just laid his piece of pizza on his cup. Yes, you can see it right now. He has his all-conference pizza from Domino's,
Well,
Emo's.
Well, let's just specify here.
It's free.
It was
Coach
free.
Powers
For free.
just said that he's watching, and he's tell Jarvis and gave me a number one finger. I'm not going to put the right finger up. But he said, tell him I'm pretty pissed off at him right now.
He said, thanks for throwing me under the bus again. What's he talking about?
I don't know, man.
About him being big time.
Big time, and I guess. I don't know.
He is big time.
Oh, boy.
Well, you know what? Hey, he's calling
Miller
class.
said it too.
I always tell him that. He's calling class 1 and 3 semifinal games in Springfield. You know what we're doing? We're having a podcast where there's like 5 people who are watching, and there's 4 of them in this room. So you know what? And wait for it. Everybody's paying to watch him and do the game. Well, they're paying to watch the game.
They're paying to listen to him.
Paying to listen to him. That's correct. So you know what? Yeah, big time. You take your Domino's, and that's what you're going to do.
Free Domino's. Just cold free Domino's.
That's right.
Hey, are your stats up to date yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Did his job.
Wow.
They
About
are.
time.
Wow. There you go.
Oh, shoot. It's getting deep in here.
Hey, we don't have Father McVey here to keep us on topic. I don't even know
I
what
asked
our
him if he was
topics
watching
were.
the show, and he said, no, I'm dealing with some stuff down here. But he
that
said,
means I'm going to be dealing with some stuff when it gets back here.
But he said, you know,
Get
that
your
was
money's
good.
worth.
That was really good.
Get your money's worth, Miller.
Yeah.
I told him, well, Father McVeigh's not here, so we can discuss a lot of things.
Hey, I want to throw something out there. It has nothing to do with anything we've talked about tonight.
Oh, okay. Here, Jason's coming up with an idea to talk about.
How
Other ideas.
How in the hell are the Cardinals going to keep Jordan Walker off this roster?
They can't.
Very simple.
They can't.
Don't give me the clock crap. He's
Clock.
hit his way into it.
Clock.
He's hit his way into the everyday
Clock.
lineup.
There's
Clock.
no way.
Clock. I'm just going to keep saying it.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
You and
What? Me and who? Me and DeWallet?
By clock, are you talking about so don't have to pay him?
That's
Yes.
exactly right. They're going to put him down there until somebody really sucks or someone gets hurt.
No way.
It's like May 13th, I think, is like the time.
No,
Something
he
like that.
has to be on the roster.
I think he's on the roster.
Okay.
I think he's hit well enough that
Him and Mason Wynn have both hit very well.
That was going to be my other
the
person.
problem you've got with Mason Wynn is they've got two
Do they?
Gold Glovers in the middle infield.
But, okay, well, who would you rather be playing? The guy that, you're going to have a lot longer?
I can live with Edman and Donovan in the middle infield, and Gorman's hitting a little bit mixed in at second base.
Carlson's hitting now, too.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You still need another outfielder because it ain't O'Neill.
You don't know that.
Oh, I know that. It ain't O'Neill.
Bro Neil.
No, not happening.
What do you guys think?
I want to see consistency out of all those guys. They may have a week where they hit the ball and then 2 weeks where they're 0 for 25. I need.
True. That's
Now
Tyler
you're
O'Neill's
talking
career.
about O'Neill.
We're in the big leagues, guys. You got to hit consistently all the way
consistently.
through.
There you go. See?
What?
So
He's not paid attention? He's
I heard
100%
him.
right.
He said consistently.
Yeah, which is definitely not Tyler O'Neill's thing.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was.
I mean, he's Canadian, so it's almost like being from
I just said
Illinois.
it. Jordan Walker should be on the roster. If he's on the roster,
Whoa!
if he's on the roster, sorry, a little burp.
That was a dump.
Welcome to the family show.
What, you can't burp on a family show? I've been at your house
Oh
before. Shut up.
he never stopped. He just kept going.
He just kept going
talking.
like a
Plowed
trooper.
right through it.
Yeah,
Didn't
talked
even
right through that damn
Wow.
thing. So, if Jordan Walker makes this team, then one of those guys has to be the odd man out.
Who is it?
It's not Newt, and I don't think it's
not
Carlson.
They're not going to get rid of DeYoung. He's the guy who should go.
When did he
well,
start
it
playing outfield?
It might end up
Oh,
being.
I thought you were talking about just in general.
I hate to say it, the odd man out might be Yepez
Yeah,
as that fourth
Could very
outfielder.
well be,
Could
yeah.
be.
I think you're going to have
Well, he
O'Neill or
can't field
Carlson
worth
as
a
that-
shit anyway.
Whoa.
I think
Jason.
you'll at
Okay,
this
he
point.
can't field
Let's
worth
say
a
use him
poop.
as a DH.
If it
he may DH some.
DH, but if the spring training ended now, Jordan Walker's your left fielder,
Oh, yes.
and it's not even close. And Jordan Walker's going to get more of a chance to prove himself with all those guys missing with the World Baseball Classic.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you are right.
I hope
And
you're wrong, too.
I do too, because I want Jordan Walker to be on the opening day roster. I just have this belief that based on what I've watched the Cardinals do since Pujols was the last guy that was a rookie that made the opening day roster, who was an immediate impact guy. I just don't see that happening. I think they're going to do that. Well, we gotta make sure he start. We can't put him up there because we start the clock, and then
They're not gonna say they
Mr.
can't-
DeWitt saying it's going to be that whole thing. I don't want to pay him.
They're not going to say we
gonna
can't
say
do it to start the clock because
I know.
that got them in trouble with what is the third baseman from the Cubs when they didn't bring him?
Chris Bryant.
Chris Bryant. Because Chris Bryant sued because of that. They're going to say he's just not ready or something. But
Yes. Okay, so we all know
I'm
what they're
going.
saying.
I'm going to fully expect to see Jordan on opening day. Jordan Walker in left field and either hitting second,
No.
or sixth in the order.
That's where he should be, is sixth.
But I'm just saying he'll either be second in the order or sixth in the order.
Would you rather bat somebody who's a switch hitter at second in the lineup, or would you rather go Goldschmidt second?
I kind of expect to see Contreras, Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Contreras in the 3, 4, 5.
I don't like that.
And probably see maybe
Okay, never
Edman and Donovan in 1-2 or Edman and Walker in 1-2.
I would like to see somebody who can get on base, hitting first, hitting leadoff, and then
Donovan.
someone who can
Nootbaar.
move the runner over or draw a walk to make sure that we get that guy to second base.
I'd like to see. Actually, now I'm going to correct myself. I'm going to say Nootbaar in the leadoff.
But
Edman to Goldie, Arenado, Contreras,
but
Walker.
because Edmonds a switch hitter.
And
Where's
the 2,
Donovan
I can do
gonna
that.
be?
Donovan's probably going to be that
And
9.
I just listened to 101 today, and they were saying Donovan's the only real leadoff hitter on the team.
I would put him as leadoff hitter because he gets major league. I mean, he has a major league at bat. He can walk and get on base. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Moneyball thing. Can you get on base? That's what you want. You want a guy on base. You don't want a guy who's going to get out all the time. Have those Willie Mays Hayes, swing for the fence and hit it straight up in the air. Have to do freaking push-ups there at home plate. I want a guy who's going to get on base, and then another guy who can move the guy over, whether that's a switch hitter or not. That's just me. I don't know. I don't know anything about baseball.
You're
at all.
You're talking old time baseball.
Well, you know what? Old time
like
baseball
it. I like
works.
it, yeah.
I don't like this new baseball crap.
Nobody bunts anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they will. It's coming back around.
Not with the shift going away.
Yeah, sure they are.
You mean third baseman's going to play third base?
Why the
again?
hell wouldn't they bunt when the shift was like that?
I have no
don't
idea. That was
understand
absurd. But now that the third baseman's standing,
You're a
where he's supposed
professional
to.
hitter. You should be able to bunt. If they're going to put that third baseman at shortstop, bunt the gosh dang ball down third.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
Okay, I did.
Oh, okay.
That's what the show says.
I wasn't paying any attention to what you said.
But what do you guys think about the new rules, the shift and so on?
Kevin, go ahead. I know you liked it. I know you.
I actually like
I do
all
too.
the rules.
I do too.
They've already found a way around the shift. Teams have moved the left fielder.
Two outfielders, yeah.
Well, they moved the two outfielders deep and then moved the left fielder into short right field.
There you go.
Or vice versa. So there's ways around it. You're going to have the shortstop standing right on the line and then moving over after the pitch. So there's ways around it. I like the idea of opening up the field more offensively, so I'm okay with that. The bigger bases don't bother me that much.
The pitch clock's the one.
I don't mind the pitch clock. Keep the damn game moving.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me now more of like when Gibson and Carlton used to pitch against each other.
Just get the ball and pitch.
Get the ball, you get the sign, you get in the box, and let's go.
I wish Scherzer's the one that's kind of figured it out because he's the one that waited
He's the
out
guy.
and then quick pitch him.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, get in the damn box and hit. Get on the mound and pitch. Everybody go.
They step out of the box, and Scherzer gets right back and
He
gets
doesn't even
set.
he doesn't even come out of his set.
Doesn't even come out of the set. I love it. And then as soon as you get ready, I'm throwing it.
He got warned.
Strike three.
He got warned today in a spring in a game for quick pitching.
Did he?
How's that a quick pitch?
Because the umpire, he didn't wait for the game. He didn't wait just long. If he would have waited one more second, he probably would have gotten away with it.
Well,
but the umpire warned him for quick pitching.
Could have been a shot clock violation.
So
Okay, but like with the bigger bases, would we even know that if we weren't told?
No.
I mean,
no, you wouldn't tell.
I could care less.
Kind of like when you go and buy like Hostess cakes or ding dongs or anything at the store, and they used to be like that big around, and now they're like this big around. You don't think about that when you're going. And it used to be $1.50 for the whole box. Now it's like $7 for the whole thing, and they're about that big. Yeah, I wouldn't notice any. Like, oh, okay. Just keep buying them; they just keep shrinking.
The one that everybody else hates around
Sorry,
here.
that's where I'm going with this.
But the rule that they all hate that I actually really like is I like the pitch clock. I think it keeps the game moving.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I think within a month,
I don't
think
dislike the pitch clock.
I think by May
I hate it.
they'll be adjusted, and everybody by the end of the year,
and a game's not 4 hours.
Yeah, it cuts a significant amount. It cuts almost a half an hour off the game.
This is the only time I would probably.
They're not going to cut
agree with
commercials.
Zach. Cut the commercials.
They're not going to do it. That pays the bills.
You can't tell me that they can't find other ways to make money.
I'm just telling
Hey,
you.
they're not going to cut
Put a
ways to
salary
make
cap
money
on you,
if they can
keep
just
money.
tell somebody
Oh,
to
look at Blair
move your
over there,
ass a
Mr.
little
Baseball. The pitch clock is not that big a
The
deal.
clock is stupid. Just
No.
tell them they can't step out that many times. Done. You don't have to have a
Eventually-
stupid clock.
Eventually, it'll get to that point.
Have you
Baseball
ever-
does not have to have a clock. You just say, listen, you can step out one time, and that's it. If you don't, it's a strike. That's it. You don't have to put a freaking clock on it.
They can't even do that at the youth baseball levels where they're saying, "Hey, let's play ready baseball and keep both feet in the box." They can't even do that and enforce it.
How
I'm
can
seeing
you
every
not?
damn baseball player, baseball player, going Nomar Garcia power and changing all of their damn.
Oh God! You remember Skip Schumacher? I mean,
It was
times he-
horrible.
Nomar was worse than Skip.
Nomar was a disaster when it comes to trying to play ready baseball.
I hate it.
It's like you need new
Hate
gloves because your
You hate
Velcro
what?
on your gloves suck.
Pitch clock. I hate it.
I hate the
Oh,
pitch
you're
clock, too.
freaking
I love the pitch
stupid.
clock.
It's fine.
Move the damn game.
Just tell them they can't do it.
It doesn't work.
Why?
No, listen, you walk through this hallway and just tell kids they can't do it.
You have 1 foot in the box.
Okay.
You have to keep
I got
1
you
foot in the
tomorrow.
box.
Don't worry.
You have to keep 1 foot in the box.
They've tried that. It doesn't
And
work.
the pitcher can pitch if you have 1 foot in the box. And if you don't have
like
1 foot in
that.
the box, it's over with. It's a strike.
You step out one time.
Personally, I think they should go back to getting rid of the
Okay,
the
so
automatic
do you have tardy
eject.
What's so different than having a pitch clock than what you said?
15 seconds.
Oh, shut up!
15 seconds is a long time.
Okay, but do you have tardy bells?
We don't hear.
We don't have bells at all.
All right, never mind.
We have a lot of tardy problems, too.
I was going to say, you say, tell a kid, hurry, get to class. You got 2 minutes. No tardy bell, they don't care.
They still
You gotta
don't.
have that clock.
Oh no!
Yeah, I still mark them tardy. No bells at all.
I thought I liked you a little bit. Now I'm not sure.
No.
Listen to you go.
Just it's simple. Just get on the mound and pitch,
You'd have
get in the
5
box
less
and hit,
wins
and nobody has any
without
problem.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
I would.
Kevin, I don't usually agree with you or Zach ever, but this I do.
Only way.
it's because he's wearing a soccer hat.
No,
You're,
I hate that.
you're turning to the dark
He wants
side.
to punch me because of that hat.
No, I don't want to punch you. I want to go to a game because I want to see this stadium and then
And the pitch. You
And
wanna
then
see the pitch.
Then I'm gonna.
It's called a pitch,
as
yeah.
I'm leaving the
See, I called
stadium. I'm gonna MF Stan Kroenke from the time I leave the stadium until I get to my gosh damn car because it's his fault. I don't have football in my city.
The Battlehawks.
So, Jason, I have to ask you.
NFL football.
Jason,
Thank you.
I have to ask
Jason,
you-
I can maybe get you a ticket if you want to go though.
Jason, I have,
I'm
a,
sure you can.
I have,
Pepsi
I have a
Man.
question. Jason, I have a question. When you say you're going to MF Stan Kroenke, what is that? What do you mean?
I'm gonna cuss him from the time I leave the stadium until I get to my car.
He's one of my mother's friends. That's
Who is this?
He is not friends with my mother.
Who is this Stan Kroenke you speak of?
He made his money in Vaseline.
Well, he did. Hey, he should have left a lot here when he left. Because he Vaseline St. Louis.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
My
Hey,
goodness.
Mark Adams of Texas Tech steps down.
Hey, how about Jim Boeheim hanging it up?
Well,
Yep.
Man, he changed that as quick as I brought it up.
Yeah, I remembered it. I was going to
Yeah.
say something today when I saw it, but he once
2-3
once they
zone
lost
is
it,
out.
it-
And
and they
he's
hired
out.
his replacement immediately.
Yep, his
Who
assistant.
was it?
His assistant.
Yep.
did Mike Bray at Notre Dame?
I haven't heard
Last
anything
night,
about
his last-
Mike Bray.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of guys who've been doing it for a while. They're done.
Well, I really honestly think the transfer
Mark Adams
portal
was
has,
not because of that, but yeah.
You're
the
true.
transfer portal has really changed the game of college basketball.
Yes, it
And
has.
I think it's gotten a lot of college coaches to want to give it up.
Well, you got to recruit your own kids every year.
Yeah, to recruiting your
year.
entire
You're
roster
constantly
every year.
recruiting. When do you have a chance to take a breath as a college coach?
don't.
No, you don't.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Well,
Be
between
on
the
your
time you're
toes
yelling
at
at
all
officials,
times.
you're yelling at officials. You got to take your breath at that point. Otherwise,
I was going to mention real quick, SEMO winning the OVC tournament.
Yeah,
That was a
they're in the dance.
great accomplishment.
Yes.
So they're in the
For
big
them.
dance. And then
alma mater.
there you go. Same here.
Yes.
And then Mizzou being the number 4 seed in the SEC tournament, getting a double bye, which is awesome.
There we go.
What-
Yeah.
I read
And Coach
somewhere.
Gates being the
they're-
coach of the year of the conference.
Well, he should be.
Yes,
They
he
are
did.
exciting.
That's a great turnaround, you know,
I would
for
agree.
that program.
Yeah,
I would agree.
and Father McVey thinks he's going to leave.
I don't want to talk about. I will say I met Coach in Chicago when we went to the coaching.
Coach
clinic.
McVey.
No,
Father.
Father McVey.
Mizzou's coach.
Dennis Gates.
Yes, and
You remember
he
his
was
name.
great. No, I knew his name, but I mean, I'm not gonna speak Dennis Gates' name in the same breath as Father McVey. Miller's assistant, Dennis Gates. Okay, enough said. So, anyway, Dennis Gates.
It's about the same.
Great guy. His assistant coach is a guy been at SEMO. Oh, you would probably know his name, and I can't think of it. No.
Dicky,
Yes.
Dicky Nut.
Dicky Nutt.
Yes.
Dicky Nut.
Dude, he was hilarious. He was so awesome.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, this is the new Mizzou coach. And I had a Mizzou hoodie on in Chicago, and they're like, you from Missouri? And we sat and talked for a while, but I was intrigued then, and then to see what Mizzou has done this year, wow.
Yeah.
I hope we don't lose him. I hope Mizzou locks that dude up. And I hate when McVay brings it up. It's almost as bad as this guy in Kentucky.
I kind of agree with McVay a little bit because money talks.
Listen to this guy. Of course, the Kentucky guy says that.
Yeah, money talks for you guys.
It talks for anybody.
Anyone that doesn't get punished for regulations that they break, like you guys, Kansas, all the schools like
Here
that.
we go.
Listen,
Here.
or
You can report yourself and you get screwed. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, hey, or you can just find somebody that looks like you to take the SAT.
Maybe.
I'm just saying,
It works.
it works.
It works.
It works. It works.
Oh, okay.
Derek
All
Rose lookalike of doppelganger over
I'm
here.
Sure I'm sure
Did
you.
anybody tell you it was wrong?
Yeah, everybody said it was wrong.
It's literally in the handbook.
Yeah, don't do that.
Did anybody prove that it was wrong?
Everybody proved it was wrong. The fact is the NCAA isn't going to punish them.
Well, they didn't prove it was wrong, I guess. NCAA didn't.
The fact that the banner's not really hanging anymore, I think.
Well,
proved
in
that it
Memphis.
was-
One place.
At Memphis.
Yeah, but they weren't going to do that to Kansas.
Yeah, do that to Kansas. It says Naismith on the floor.
Good
I'm just saying.
I hate Kansas.
Oh, they just went ahead and
I hate
punished Mizzou
Kansas.
for that one.
It's all these K schools. I hate Kansas. I hate Kentucky.
Kennesaw State.
Kent
I'm gonna
State.
deck
Kennesaw
out
State.
Kentucky
Kennesaw
next week.
State.
Kennesaw, that's what I meant.
You're going to deck out Kentucky.
I don't know. Dude, I don't know.
Thank God St. Vincent's don't have a K in it.
Oh, I don't
That's a
like
different
them
subject.
either.
Hang on, I'm using letters. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
That's a different story.
How many Grandview guys we have here tonight? Half of us, right?
How many what?
Grandview guys, former Grandview guys.
I've never been to Grandview.
You never been there.
Oh, McVey, Father McVey.
Father McVey had.
Damn,
I'm sorry.
So what he's
called
saying
you
is I'm as
McVey.
fat as McVey. That's what he's saying.
How's the diet going?
What other correlation to me and McVey have? There's nothing else.
If you had a little more facial hair.
I am so pissed off. I used to like Wingler, but Wingler can suck it.
I'm sorry.
I am so triggered right now.
I apologize.
You rip on me 13 or 14 more
He
times.
just put me in the same as McVey. No!
I'm an old man.
I've
Give
never
me a
been to
break.
Grandview.
Give
Put
me
the-
a- give
put
me a
the
break.
I'm not
I'm
saying
sorry.
I wouldn't go to Grandview, though. You never know when you need a job. but-
Riley, you have a bullseye on you next year. You better beat Grandview by 50. Or Jarvis will be in the administration's office the
You
next
so much
morning.
as pulled Jillian.
Hey,
out
don't
of
worry.
that
He
game.
has his number. He's like 0-5 against Blair.
Wouldn't be for me.
He owns
Wouldn't be-
Winkler.
That was 200 yet. He does.
He owns
He does.
Winkler.
He does.
Man,
Kind of like you own me. He owns Winkler.
I finally broke the curse, so I was happy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
I'm just saying.
It's
I
getting
did.
deep in here.
I beat him twice last year, so that was gratifying.
And beat us at the Crystal Tournament
I
this
beat
year.
you this year once, but I didn't beat you when it counted.
I mean, it did count.
Conference.
You won it.
I
You
know,
won a
but
tournament.
I won the tournament. I want to win conference.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe next year.
We had a shot.
Get McVey on your staff.
You did hear I graduated
Get McVey
6
on your
seniors.
staff.
Yeah, hey,
I only
he's
played
not even
like
listening
7
right now.
or 8
Coach
kids.
Jarvis, Coach Winkler has an announcement for you.
Go ahead.
Get Father McVey on your staff.
No, I will not.
You have to have early practices.
Well, no. We would break the bleachers at Herky.
Wow.
You got to admit that was funny.
Wow.
That was good.
And if you've seen our bleachers lately, I'm just putting out press out there so that
I'm just asking a
April
question.
4th, we need a new
yes,
gym.
so that
Vote
everyone in
yes.
Herculaneum votes yes for our new. It's not going to raise their taxes at all.
So what do they have to lose?
Yeah.
That sounds like some of the government policies I hear.
Oh, here we go. This has nothing to do with that idiot that's in office.
What idiot? There's a lot of them in office.
Well, I'm talking about the main office of the world.
When you fall up the stairs, had brain surgery because Anyway, that could be another topic for a different show.
I'm staying out of this now. I'm a history teacher. I got to stay unbiased.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You're going to talk about the QAnon shaman? Good times. All right, moving on before we get kicked off the air by censorship.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know. Jillian
decide,
Jarvis is watching right now. Watch out.
Okay.
Did we ever decide Player of the Year, MVP?
Of the girls?
Oh, bring that back up.
Large school
difference.
girls.
The difference.
Oh, okay. You were saying. Go ahead and say your.
Now, see, I think there's a difference between MVP and Player of the Year. I mean, you could be both, in my opinion. But to me, the MVP. Let me start with Player of the Year. Player of the Year is outstanding stats, if you want to go there. Maybe all the way across the line. And MVP is somebody who, if you take them away from a winning team, they're not going to win. And I think that's why I'm wondering why is ours a player?
So you're telling me if you take away a player of the year, it's not going to be the same as you take away an MVP?
It could be. It could be. Your player of the year and MVP could be the same, but sometimes they're not. Like, okay, back in 1979, I think. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
All right, I was 3.
Keith
but go ahead.
Hernandez.
I was just born.
Before
Keith Hernandez played with the Cardinals. Him and Willie Stargell.
was this before Christ?
Man.
Barely. Yeah, just. Yeah.
I was 3.
I think he was
so
in kindergarten.
it was after Christ.
I think Christ was in kindergarten.
Yeah. Have to ask Father McVey. He knows history. Okay. But Stargell was the MVP. They were co-MVPs.
Yes.
Stargell was with the Pirates who won I think they won the pennant.
They won the World Series,
Yes.
I think,
Yeah.
in '79.
Hernandez had a better season in terms of stats.
Sure.
But Stargell was probably the best player on the best team. So I always thought that, to me, that's Hernandez should have been Player of the Year and Stargell should have been MVP. What about when Dawson with the Cubs? Again,
Andre Dawson with the Cubs.
they finished last and he was MVP. Well,
Oh, you mean kind of like A-Rod winning MVP with the Rangers? And they finished last.
And they were last.
yeah.
And he hit 52 home
So
runs.
how valuable is he if they finished last with him? Would have finished last without.
So you're saying that those
But maybe
people
Player
should
of
be
the Year.
Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Should be the way it changes.
I mean, in a way, but then again, like Kobe Klaus, I mean, I lost him for 2 seasons. Should he have been Player of the Year? Because without him, we really sucked. And no offense to the guys who did play, it was like, well, we were a little overmatched. And, we're going to go play Festus, and we don't have Kobe. We didn't fare too well. We have Kobe. The game is a lot different. So then again, even when he played 7 games as a senior, got hurt again, should he have been Player of the Year? Or excuse me, Most Valuable Player? Because without him, which he was the MVP, conference MVP as a sophomore. You remember?
Yep.
Then I'm being devil's advocate.
Yeah.
With your argument, would he not been the MVP?
Well, did he play enough games? So
I mean, is there a game
But,
limit?
yeah, I don't know.
You're thinking the concept that you're talking about comes down to who's the best player versus who's most valuable to a team's
team.
success.
Yeah.
Success.
Correct.
But there has to be that balance of did they play enough to really warrant
Yeah.
it? Because you can't really give an award like that to somebody who's played 7 games. In a
I agree with
season.
that.
So,
Well, like I think of Ohtani. I mean, they haven't made the playoffs, so how valuable is he? I mean, I know he's valuable, but in terms of the whole league, but he's definitely Player of the Year. He's fantastic there. So that's just me.
I hope that we recruit that Newpar's really recruiting him, but I don't think it's going to matter.
yeah, because there won't be the checkbook isn't thick enough for that.
The wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, I see your point. I just, I don't know.
Those terms become interchangeable with each other over time.
I mean, last
Yeah.
year you had Nate and Gabe were co-MVP. I mean, Nate is probably a big reason why they won the conference.
Yep.
We didn't win the conference, but they were co-MVP.
To use your argument, I would say that Gabe would have been Player of the Year and Nate would have been more of an MVP. Nothing against Gabe, because I think you take Gabe away as in that sense.
But since you guys won the conference,
we were 4-1 in the conference. I mean, I thought. I mean, I've said this. I thought Gabe was the MVP. Period. But it's hard to ignore what Nate did in conference, because they don't win the conference. If he doesn't have Nate, he doesn't win the conference.
This is true. And we didn't have Nate this year. We didn't win the conference. See.
Well, and
did you have Nate?
well, that means I suck as a coach, because I still had Gabe.
Oh, my bad, Jason. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't put it out there. You did. So,
but
You're welcome.
It's hard to. Yeah,
there's a lot of terminology there,
and and it's a lot of perception, or
Yeah.
or what you perceive it as, what Bruce, what he does, it's hard. I mean, this year I think it was a no-brainer. I think Gabe was the best player in our conference.
See, so he could have been MVP and Player of the Year.
Yeah, maybe we should give both awards.
Oh my God!
Let's put that out there.
Oh, let's not.
We are. I mean,
No,
it's not
let's
like we
vote
got
on that.
But what Kevin said, it's just they become interchangeable.
But
And I
but
don't
we
thi-
didn't
I
win
don't
the.
think they are,
but we
but
didn't
they
win the
become that way.
conference, so you could say, well, Moonier. Wait, is that how you say it?
Moonier.
Yeah. You say Moonier. Well, maybe he should have been
Yeah, so they won the conference,
because they won the conference. So, I don't know.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. This is probably, I'm pretty close to it. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, we've been fortunate to win the conference many times in my career. We've only had 2 player of the years. In all those years that we won the conference, I've only had 2.
Really?
Play of the year, MVP.
Or MVP. Sorry. MVP. In the bylaws, it says MVP. If you want to be technical, in the bylaws,
you did write them, didn't you?
He created the bylaws.
Etched them in
did
stone.
I create them? Well, I was in on the meeting at the first AD
Book
meeting
of
that we
Genesis.
joined the conference.
It's like the
Book of
Ten
Genesis.
Commandments.
And when they etched them in the stone.
Yeah, it's like the Ten Commandments, but yeah.
before Christ.
BC.
Mount Sinai,
So I was
Ten
in-
Commandments,
I was
JCAA
in-
bylaws. There's Moses. There's Bruce.
There's
got it
Adam
done.
Eve and first.
And
I'll tell you-
I will say that I thought you've won the conference a couple times, and I voted one of your kids MVP, and they did not get it. And I'm like, he's won the conference this year. Yeah, that's crazy. To
You know
me.
what that tells me? It tells me that you don't really rely on one player. You got a good team full of kids that do a good job.
And my philosophy from day one is team atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well,
We try to
and
put a
that, and
team
that
and-
is one thing when you look at your teams. A lot of times you look at you have 2 or 3 guys that are almost the same. Like you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
But
and yeah.
I've heard you talk before about it, and you've presented it in the way that, hey, if it wasn't for our team, we wouldn't have had success. And you don't present each kid as like, well, without this kid, we wouldn't have been as good. Without this team, we wouldn't have been as good as.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
most
think it's-
coaches don't go into a meeting and say, well.
This player's the MVP. If we had him, we wouldn't have won.
Yeah,
Well, I look at your teams that you've had, and obviously had success. You know, I mean, you look at this year, and you got Moonier, and you got Abernathy, and the name I can't ever say.
Unterreiner.
Who lives right up the street from me.
3 houses down, probably.
Probably
And then
related.
You want to laugh some more? My wife was an Underwriter. Not related to this one, but she was an Underwriter.
I could have swore there was a referee that had their last name Underwriter
my
too.
God, but go ahead.
Anyway, so all 3 of those kids, I mean, they put up really good numbers. And I have, like, you know, when I was at Grandview and I had a kid like Kobe was it. I mean, it was like he's our guy, and if we don't have him, our next best player is not at that level. Right. I mean, it's just not at that level.
Well,
so
there's a couple years they said the same thing about Wilson. Is it Wilson?
Chase
From
Wilson.
Grandview.
Yeah, at
Chase
Grandview. I mean, you look at our 7, not this year, but last year you had Cole Richardson.
But if you go a few years back, Easton Null
Yeah.
was the player of the year a couple
and
years
then-
in a row, and they didn't win the conference.
well,
one year they did, and then one year we won.
But Easton was a
the one
was a
year
good
White
player.
was though.
White.
White was. Easton was not.
He was not player of the year.
White was not player of the year.
Nope.
I think Easton won it a couple years in a row.
I think
years in a
Easton won it twice.
Okay,
actually,
maybe-
he won it. He won
maybe
it both
I
years
thought
after
White
Klaus.
shoulda won it.
Because Klaus won it then before
Klaus
that.
was hurt, and he won it both
I'm
those
thinking
years.
I thought White should have won it the one year because I think he was the reason why they won the conference. But yeah,
Well, and then they won the district too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
And
year they
then
won
the next
district.
year, we won the district, and I think Riley was. It was because it was between Riley and Jordan.
yeah,
That next year.
And then Riley, I think, won the player of the year. that
yeah.
year.
He won it that year.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach Blair, last year, who was your MVP?
For the whole year, Macy. Yeah.
See, last year, Annabelle Wakeland won MVP. I think Macy was the MVP because you guys won the conference. I think Annabelle is player of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I think it's a difference. There is a difference. And I think there's a difference year in and year out, depending on the player of the year. And that's why I think it's so hard to vote if it's player of the year or MVP.
Yeah, which way you give more weight to?
Because if you have an MVP player, like without that player, you wouldn't have been what you are and that team, you know. But player of the year may have been the difference in the best player in the entire conference, but that team
I think
didn't win.
I think they're splitting hairs at that point though,
Well,
because
and-
there's you could make the argument. I get what you're saying.
I get what you guys are saying too. It's just like Jeremy Moss and me were talking today, and he said, "Dude," he goes, Gabe didn't play the night we played you guys, and Grandview was playing well at that time, and we whooped Grandview's butt without Gabe. But Gabe was voted MVP, right? But if I wouldn't have had Gabe this year, I still think we would have won quite a few games without Gabe.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think it's Player of the Year.
That's why I don't know Player of the Year, MVP. I mean, we're splitting hairs here.
I've almost seen it as
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you're agreeing with me.
I'm agreeing with you.
You can have those situations where you have an MVP, which is the best overall type of thing, and then you have, like, say, an offensive player of the year and a defensive player of the year.
Oh, my gosh, that's just too many awards.
Now we're talking about everyone gets an ice cream cone.
I ain't got enough ice cream
I'm
cones.
not saying in a 5-team conference that's the direction you go, but that you can go that route with the full conference.
Well, I know a couple years ago there was people in outrage about what the all-conference team was. And
I think they might be a little bit this year.
I think there's going to be some this year.
And that's what I was going to say. I think if you looked at our conference this year, boys, I'm just talking boys, not even talking about girls, because I don't know enough about the girls' side. And I know anyway. So I know.
Daughter should have made it too.
I wasn't going to say that. I
just wanted to.
But anyway.
I already got in trouble.
All right, Gabe Wiegler trouble. So, but I think this year in our conference, it was hard because we had a bunch of kids that were right there at 9, 10 points a game, and they all did different things other than just score.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Like, my son was honorable mention, which is fine with me. He averaged 8 points a game. He was our leading rebounder, and he was probably our best defensive player most of the games. And I put him on most teams' best player. And he was honorable mention. Well, he could have probably been a second teamer. You know, I think we had this year especially, just had a bunch of kids that were about the same.
Well, and I think that was a testament to how, like I was telling you before, how balanced the top part of the conference was.
Yeah, I agree.
Given how, I
Across
think
the board, really.
I mean, even Grandview came out to compete every night, and
dude, they were up on our 7.
They were up on our 7
at halftime, big time.
They were up on us,
up on you guys,
They could hit some free throws.
and Crystal City. I mean, they weren't. There wasn't any just cakewalk games. You didn't walk in thinking, "Oh yeah, we got this," which I never do anyway. But that was not the case with our conference. So I think that goes to a testament to that. I mean, I knew Gabe coming in, being co-MVP last year. He was the odds-on favorite. Moonier I knew that kid was going to have a good year, and Abernathy, and I'm trying to think who else.
Nate Breeze.
Nate Breeze. And Nate Breeze was going to have a good year. So I thought that, okay, those guys are the ones that I'm gonna think about just right off the bat, and they're the ones that were right there in the hunt. So,
I agree.
Well, I'm talking to Coach Breeze before the meeting. If you look at his kids' stats, they may not have been the best, but the Johnson boy averaged 9 points a game. He scored 21 against us.
Yeah.
And then Breeze, who was their leading scorer, only scored like 6 against us. But
Well-
then the next game, Breeze scores 20 and Johnson scores 8.
And that's a lot like the Hoskins kid on my team. I mean, he scored 17, 14, and like double digits in like 3 of our 5 conference games or whatever.
If we had better assistant coaching, he wouldn't have done that either. And we've done better against Jefferson. I gotta say, Father McVey would have been on his game and not being Denim Dan over there in his jeans. I gotta love throwing that under the bus.
And that Jefferson game though, like Breeze was talking about, Hoskins made like 3 threes in that 7 possessions in a row, and all 3 of them there was a guy in his face. I mean, that kid. He lived shooting the basketball, and basketball is the only sport he ended up playing anymore. But I'm just saying, we had a lot of CJ. I consider, because he scored like 9 points a game. We had a bunch of kids at the same, spot.
Yeah,
and it's hard to vote. It's hard to vote a team like that.
It is, and I did get the large school girls side conference awards.
All right, you got
thanks
the
to Coach
connections.
Hubbard. At Hillsboro, he was able to get that to me.
You are so connected.
So, JCAA All-Conference Player of the Year goes to Josie Allen of Festus.
We already said that, but go ahead.
And the Coach of the Year goes to Andrew Hubbard of Hillsboro.
Of course.
As well as...
I agree with that.
Yes. And Sierra McDonald of Festus was second team. Maya Courtois was honorable mention from Festus. As Perryville, first team. Kyla Schnurbush was first team. Brooklyn Mole was second team, and Rachel Riney was second team. And then from that point, Windsor had Reagan Daly was first team. Madeline Mancuso was second team, and Peyton Broderick was honorable mention. Hillsboro had a first team in Kaylee Hilton, and Ashley Hilton was honorable mention, as well as Kayla Metrick and Bailey Scallett. DeSoto had a Jamie Smith as second team, and that was your all-conference JCAA large school all-conference teams.
Wow. There you go. Wish we had some graphics,
I don't have any graphics for that.
It's all my fault.
That was
I didn't have any time, man.
From Coach Hubbard, and I appreciate him giving that, and we want to give those kids due diligence to the honors that they reserved.
Yeah, and then,
congratulations to all of them. That's awesome.
It's just nice. I mean, we can all debate, and I'm sure there will be some debate on who should be where and what team, and this, that, or whatever. Like the Jarvis kid not making it.
I didn't say stuff about that.
Good save.
Maybe if the head coach would have argued a little bit harder for her.
Just add it to the list of things for that future admin meeting with it.
That's true.
And here's the hardest part. And as a coach, and we're in a tough spot.
Yes, we are.
We nominate who we feel like is very deserving of an award, and but we lay the hands in people that we compete against on a nightly basis, and it's a very tough situation to be put in as a coach, because you're competing against those kids, which those kids are some of the kids you're facing up against each night may not have a good night against you, but that they're a good player, and you look at the overall picture and they say, hey, is this against an all-conference award against the 5 conference teams, or is this an all-conference award throughout the entire year? And I think that's the biggest issue that I feel as being a part of this conference for 12, 13 years now is what is it? Is an all-conference award an overall year award, or is it an all-conference
Did you read your email?
And I did.
Well,
but here's the
obviously
problem.
you didn't.
Here's the problem. I don't think that every single coach votes that way.
Well,
and I think that's the biggest issue that I feel like we have to come.
It was emphasized that the conference
it's
stats
frustrating.
are just supposed to be supportive, that it's an all-year thing. It was said in the email. We said it. The boys talked about it. We talked about it before we voted.
Sounds like us boys coaches have a lot. We kind of got this thing locked down.
Year in and year out.
It didn't really take that long for us to do all of our voting.
We talked about it last year too, and we decided that the same thing we decided this year, that conference stats, they're great, but they're not the tell-all.
You guys just got to get on. You just got to get on the same page as us.
I didn't say that we weren't. I'm just saying I want to know what the overall picture is there. And I'm not upset in any shape or form, but I'm saying there's a lot of frustration out there because you got some kids that well deserved of first team all conference that got honorable mention. And what are we voting on? I think that's the biggest thing is we need to figure that out.
So what you just said, that means that you aren't happy about the way
it wasn't.
Does it sound like they're on the same page as us? I
don't think
so.
I mean,
I've heard some rumblings on the boys' side from years in and year out. I've been around here long enough to know that it's not consistent every single year. I'm just saying, I think it's very difficult to try to vote on this because I don't think that. One, we have a turnover in coaches, and we have people that come in and come and go, and they think about
I've had a lot of it lately.
They want to say, "Hey, I want to put my kids at best interest, and I want to vote my kids at this point." But I can't
Miller,
vote for my
and
own.
Bruce, and Breeze have been here for a while,
and Phil's been here now.
And Phil's been here several years.
Jeremy's new this year,
but Jeremy has been around the conference, so it wasn't like.
He knew us. Most of us.
My thing is, it's hard as a coach when you're. I probably could have put up someone else. I only put up 3, and I'll be honest. If parent wants to ask me, I'll tell them. I put up 3.
I'll tell them.
And like when you go to districts, I put up a certain number. I'm not going to say that one, but because that's not official. But I put up 3 for conference because if you put up, sometimes you're looking at it. Well, if I put up 4, or if I put up 1,
take votes from one of them.
You're going to take votes from other kids, and so like there was a couple years ago that I thought maybe our conference was not good with the way it came out, but people don't understand on the outside how it's voted, how you nominate, and all that stuff.
Well,
So
wait a minute. They don't. No, go ahead, Kevin.
Well, it's not just a basketball only thing. It happens in other sports just the same as well.
Oh, I figured.
And I've been in those meetings where it's some, and we've talked about the turnover in coaches. There's always going to be some turnover, some new.
Yes.
It's how does the leadership within that group of coaches, the older coaches, how do they
Well, the ones
relay
that have
that
been doing it
information?
for a while,
The ones
yeah.
that have been doing it for a while and been around and worked with each other, how are they relaying this type of information and the culture within those meetings that they set? Are they
Correct.
setting that the right way?
Correct.
And it tends to not be an issue if they do it the right way. But, you see it all the time. Some coach will come in and throw up 8 kids in an all-conference meeting, and you're like, you're not getting all 8. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Some coach will say, and we've said that to other coaches in the meeting, what are you doing?
Right.
You're not. This is not good for the kids that you on the top end of your list for you to put all of these kids up here. It's not going to help you. So let's find a different way to do this.
I don't think I've
Let's
ever.
get it right. And the coaches, every meeting goes in there. All the coaches, they say it. We want to get this right. Let's get the right kids in the right spots as best as we possibly can. But it has to be all the
I don't
coaches
think
on
I've
board.
ever put up more than 3.
Well,
No, I know, but I'm not saying just
Ever.
in basketball. But
I'm just saying.
and I just threw that number out there.
I'm just
But-
saying, I'm just saying
Just
that
saying.
I feel like as an overall pitcher, and you know, Coach and I were just talking about this a minute ago. MVP Player of the Year. What are we voting on? I know it's MVP in the bylaws, but what is an MVP of the conference? Is it the most valuable player from the entire year? As if I took that kid off your team all year, would he make a difference in how you competed all year? Or is it the player of the year in the conference where I say that the player of the year is the kid that had the best stats on the team, that no matter how that team ended up, he had the best stats of the year? And I feel like that's the difference in how you vote is, do you vote off stats or do you vote off of performance?
Most of the time, it's a rarity, but most of the time, that is going to be the same person. Most of the time.
A lot of times.
And,
Well, it's
and
yes
then
and no.
you could say yes and no. Oh, that guy had better stats. Well, he shot 50 times a game. I mean, there could be an argument against all that. So
they could.
you're splitting freaking hairs, Blair. I don't agree with anything you're saying.
Wow.
I don't have. You don't have to agree with me.
But then, like non-conference games. So you play a pretty tough non-conference schedule, and that's going to probably sometimes
Skew those numbers.
exactly.
Absolutely, it is.
So
And
that's why I wonder why we don't put more weight on the conference games. I'm not saying ignore overall, but I since it's an all-conference team.
And then we specify in this in the all district that it's an all year award. It's not just an all district team. It's not an all tournament team for the all district. And I feel like if it's about a conference awards, it should be about the conference games. My personal opinion. I've always said this from day one that I've been a part of this conference. I feel like it should be how you perform in the conference games.
I feel if you're going to put that much weight on an award, that it has to be for more than 5 games, 4 or 5 games in a season.
Thank you.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, if you want to look at Gabe's situation this year, he doesn't play against Grandview.
Yep.
He plays maybe 65% of our game. You know, you
Yep.
had him in and out.
And he
most of the
still
game.
scored 14 against you
And
guys
then
and was not 100%.
And didn't play the fourth quarter because it was a blowout.
Yeah.
So you look at he only played 3.5 games, and
He still
an
averaged
MVP of the
18.5 in conference. So,
I mean, every situation's different.
I agree.
You know, and
I
that's
agree,
where-
and that's
yeah.
why I think it's.
That's where
you
each
really
year could be different.
It's really tough as a coach. It's really hard to vote on that.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's very tough.
I mean, and anybody that says that, somebody complains and says, well, I feel like that kid should deserve this or this. You don't know what us coaches have to go through and figure out, like the overall scheme of things. Like you don't people don't know that unless they are a part of your program and see that hey, Gabe didn't play in one of those conference games.
And Bruce just said, Bruce just said he's won it how many years and he hasn't ever had an MVP. I mean,
I agree. That's why I say it's very difficult, and people don't realize the importance of and how hard it is to be all conference. I mean, you take pride in, even if you get honorable mention, man, that's a big deal. Like, that's a big deal.
And I was saying this to Chris earlier today, maybe Zach, maybe the day before. Basketball, I think, is the toughest in any sport to be all conference in, because most of the other sports have more all conference slots than players on the field.
Yes.
And basketball is the only one that goes 5 per team, number of players.
Yeah.
So
there you go 5, but then honorable mentions
could be more. Could be more. But it stays pretty close to that, right around that 5.
Yeah, it's right
five
about
to 6 number.
It's right about 15 kids basically. 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm. Soccer, those other baseball, they all have
football,
more than the numbers.
Ton.
Football, there's a ton, and somebody can be all conference in 2 different positions or
even
3
more
different
than that,
positions.
Kicker or special teams
on
or
all 3
punter.
facets. So it could be.
Yeah, I mean, my son was all conference and offense, defense, and I think a special teamer maybe. Or I don't know. I don't remember what
I'm
he
not
got,
saying
but
those
it could
kids.
be
I'm not
possible.
saying those kids shouldn't be recognized for those situations. It's just a much different situation with the sport and the toughness that it comes with being recognized as one of these.
Right.
And it stinks. You want it for your kids. You know your kids. You want your kids to be first team. You want your kids to be second team, and you try to do the best you can to relay to them just what the message it is about being.
And this year, on the boys and girls side in the small school, it was very, very competitive. I mean, every single game, night in and night out, was competitive. So you really have a hard decision to make because the conference was so competitive night in and night out. Like, I feel like any night somebody could have beat somebody. You know, there was never a night where you walked into the gym and felt like, I'm going to win that game. Like, you didn't have that mindset. And I think that's why the parity of our conference on the small school side is so much more efficient, and it's hard to vote on.
Okay, so what if we played home and home? Would it be easier? I'm just throwing out there. You'd have a lot more. You'd have 10 games instead of 5.
A lot more stats to go off of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, maybe we bring that up in a
still,
coaches meeting.
I still don't think that having an all-conference award with the type of weight that comes with it can only be balanced on or weighed on 50% of the entire season, or a little bit less than. I still don't think you can do that. I still think you can use the full season, but with 10 games, you have a bigger sample size of all the same opponents in which that can be a little bit.
So again, it goes back to this is a season award, and the conference stats are supportive stats. So if you have the 5 games that you play in conference, or you have 10, they're still supportive stats because they are not an overall representation of that player and what they can do. Let's just hypothetical again. Last year, not this year, we held Gabe to 7 points. Gabe was conference co-MVP. This year, we did our damnedest to hold him to 14 points.
No, he was 13.
Whatever.
Part of the reason Gabe gave us conference MVP
you had to
is
stop him.
We knew we had to stop him.
You had to game plan for him. You don't game plan for non-MVPs.
So are we talking about? Are we talking about stats? Yeah. I'm not game planning for some scrub-a-dub. We had to guard the Abernathy kid and make sure that we didn't let him loose on the 3-point line. And we gave him one that I'm pretty sure that he ran off of a screen from somebody, the official, Bruce, and the water boy over there. And
Mrs.
still found a way.
Valleroy was in there too.
No, he got a good look. And
same play we ran for the last 20 years. Or
every damn play is the same. What do you lay for the last 20 years?
That damn sideline play.
Execution.
I know. It's all the same ones. Go run 3.
You don't stop it, I'm going to keep running.
Literally, you hear him from the sideline. Bruce goes, run the same damn play.
Well, like I mentioned,
the same play your dad did.
And like I mentioned tonight about my players, I said, you game plan for that person. You game plan to stop his shot, or you stop his dribble penetration, or whatever the case may be. And then I also use as all conferences what I call extra credit. Like one of my kids had a great game against Crystal City. I wanted to remind them that, hey, he had a good game against you. Or against Jarvis, one of my kids had a good game. So I kind of put that in as extra.
There you go, Jason.
Credit.
You should take it from Bruce, who understands how extra credit works, and that's how you should.
I don't give extra credit in my class.
There you go. See, that's
I
the
do
problem.
at the all-conference meeting. I try to throw that.
Well, yeah.
The all-conference meeting.
I mean,
like
a
the
kid drops
Abernathy,
27 against you. I mean,
like the Abernathy boy led the conference in 3 throws percentage if you shot a maximum or minimum of a certain amount of shots.
There was no minimum.
But there is no minimum. So even though the one kid only shot 15 and he shot 60.
90 some odd percent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he shot 60 because half your games are played at St. Vincent.
Ouch. I knew it was going there.
Here
we go.
I am going to check that tonight when I get home.
30
see how
to
many
12.
he shot at home. I don't think he shot many at home. He shot most of them.
Oh,
on
he
the
may
road.
not have. I'm just saying our game was 30 to 12.
And there we go.
And the one year it was 90-something to 12 for the conference.
Well, I think that kind of wraps things up.
I had to do it while he's here.
That's just true.
We do want to give a big shout out to these two guys over here that stayed the whole night after the conference
it's
meeting.
10:25 because you wouldn't shut up earlier.
Shut your mouth. But you know what? I appreciate Coach Valleroy and Coach Winkler for sticking
Absolutely.
around and hanging out on our show. I know that they both watch our show and
Got a long way to go back
Closet
home.
walkers.
we appreciate both of those guys and
Watchers.
appreciate you guys being on the show. And hey, don't be strangers. Come on up here anytime you want. And we'd love to have you.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
We might have
We
to.
may have to do
Mary
that.
Jane's, dude.
Can you get us in, Mary Jane's?
Hey, we don't have to
make
cross
some
a river.
arrangements.
That's fine.
That's good. We don't
You
have to
don't
cross the river.
You have to cross the river to get there, so it's okay.
That's very true. You don't
Hey, no boats.
Hey, do they have good Wi-Fi? Because last time I went down to Perryville and tried to do any kind of broadcast, the Wi-Fi was a little.
That
Little
was on the
sus.
football field.
I know.
Yes,
I'm just saying.
We'll check Mary Jane's.
There
to
we
see
go.
If they've got enough.
Hey, your
And
color guy was really, really good that game, though.
Oh, it was. We had a good
Father
time.
McVey did a great job that night.
But the color guy was absolutely phenomenal.
Wasn't the color guy also the camera
He
guy?
was
that
also the
night?
cameraman.
We got a
this
lot
you?
of views of the stadium.
Was this you?
Yes. I did not know that until I got there. Coach Miller's like, hey, you're in charge of the camera. And I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Well, because they didn't have a cameraman to help us out.
I did a lot of checking on the lights to make sure they were working yet, because that's where I was at a lot.
Hey, he can say what he wants. He might be a Hall of Fame coach someday, but he was a Hall of Fame cameraman first and foremost.
And color guy. too.
All
in one.
Hey, it just shows how many hats you can juggle.
I've had plenty of them.
I know. You coach how many sports and
Almost as many hats as Miller's worked in school districts.
this is true.
Hey, there is nothing against working in a lot of school districts, sir.
Yep. Don't hate on me and Jason like that,
Yes.
okay?
I've been in my share too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bruce, what's your count? 1?
I've only been at one.
Same here.
Graduated from St. Vincent's.
Same
and
here.
Been there all
Graduated
36
at Pius
years.
and-
Okay, well, Festus has given me one interview, and it was a token.
Ouch. I didn't even get to substitute teach at South Iron.
They let me sub it.
Well, that's because
Festus.
they asked your dad first.
Well,
The real Coach Miller.
Oh,
he was kind of a pain in the ass back then
Well,
too.
Oh,
Dude,
great.
you get more of the real Coach Miller than he gets the real Coach Blair, and his dad coached 30 years.
Yes, he did.
What did your dad say the night you beat us?
How do you put it? I was really surprised with that one. I mean, given how bad you do, against good teams, and you guys actually came to play. So
The same year, he
didn't-
told me how bad I was going to kick their ass too, and he came to the game and
it's
watched
like you didn't
them beat us.
You didn't suck that bad tonight. I'm glad I actually showed up and watched. All right, great.
Thanks, Dad.
And then when we played you guys last year, he was like, "Hey, how come?" I don't want to say the kid's name. He's like, "How come that kid didn't foul when you told him to?" I said, "This is bad coaching." He goes, "Well, that ain't no kidding." I mean, exactly what he said. There was no SHIT. But it's like, I'm just glad you won.
There's a lot of love in the Miller household.
Yeah, there's a lot of love.
Compliments are at a premium. Just to throw that out
Didn't
there.
your daddy hug you as a kid?
I love my dad. He's great. But then at the same time, when it comes to basketball, no,
Not so much.
not so much.
Not great.
Not great. But no, he likes to go to good games. That's what he tells me. I said, "You gonna come watch this night?" He goes, "No, I'm gonna actually go to some real basketball. I'll watch CBC and DeSmet play or something." I'm like, thanks. All right, cool.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, that's the story of my life. It's all right. He'll be in Springfield
All weekend.
No, No,
that's
Thursday.
right, coming back Friday.
Driving back because he's got to go watch some real
It
basketball.
tells you how much
and then
Blair
go
was
back.
listening.
Yeah, he's over on his phone.
I heard it.
He was trying to find out the large school girls.
Hey, I'm trying to recognize all these kids. I think
Whatever.
it's about all that.
All right, yeah.
Sorry,
You don't need to give the coach speak. We know how you are.
I know how it is. You're right.
Appreciate you guys hanging out. We want to get you guys home because I'm sure we don't want your wives to be upset with us.
Some people have to work tomorrow.
Not me.
That's right.
I have to work tomorrow.
I'll have to walk the dogs.
That's the biggest work you've done all
Man,
year.
that's tough. That's tough.
I'm jealous.
Well, for all the guys here, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll be back on next week. Hopefully, maybe got good Lord willing, and no floods or anything. So
mystery emails,
mystery emails, Misha, I don't know. Anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of the Coach's Box. We will see you guys all hopefully next week. Have a good one. Peace out.
Thanks for watching another rib-tickling, gut-busting, epic episode of The Coach's Box. Please like, share, and follow.